Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Coming at you with a new YamatoCannon experience. I stole it from Joe Rogan. I didn't steal it from, what's his name? Jet. He stole it from Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan stole it from Jimi Hendrix. I stole it from Joe Rogan.
Makes sense.
Today we have a very special guest because this is, Jiizuké is very close to heart. Jiizuké is here with us. The Italian stallion, the RNG slayer,
RNG, Genji Slayer.
master backdoor, the man who 1v2'd Fnatic into space. Mr. Jiizuké. How you doing, brother?
I'm doing good. You?
I'm doing good, man. I've been looking forward to this. The hour is rough for me because I record Euphoria tomorrow. I have to wake up at 6.
It's midnight to you, right?
Yeah,
No?
it's actually
Me,
1
it's-
o'clock. 1 o'clock.
Yeah. Oh, 1? To me,
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
4 p.m.
4 p.m. Holy man.
Yeah.
We're so far away from each other, man.
Yep.
It's crazy. North America. Tell me, man.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks Jiizuké went to North America for money. But it's not the case.
Yeah, sure. I mean,
Let's start there,
I think,
Jiizuké.
yeah. It's off season. One day before free agency starts, I know from someone else that Midik has joined the team, and suddenly I'm in free agency, and I explored my options, and I can choose to be a last place team in Europe. I can choose to go regional league or Turkey, or go in A. And I didn't consider an A until I had many NA offers, like 4 or 5. I didn't consider an A until AG contacted me, just because I really liked the roster.
Yeah.
Like, I knew Sven Zazel Bank back then. No, actually, I knew only Sven Zazel, and then the day after they signed Bang.
Yeah.
So, like, I was, okay, it's a team I could join, that I want to join. But before that, so it's been like, I would probably have played in Spanish League, because I would have rather play in Spanish League than in a, last place team in Europe.
Yeah. To hunt Attila or?
Maybe, well, with Attila probably, but
Yeah.
I think if I stood in Europe, it will be only to stay in Vitality for royalty, and that's it, because it would not have made any sense to me to stay in Europe in a non-top 3 team.
Yeah. Like for me too,
There's a-
like I was ready to bash more skulls, I felt
Yeah,
I felt like you and me the next year together, with the team would be the year, for sure.
yeah.
I felt like,
Shit happens.
it was
Shit
it was a
happens.
big growing year for us. Because
Yeah.
I look back at this year and considering where we were at some points, I was happy with what we accomplished. On paper it didn't look good, but in summer we were 0-4 and it looked like the darkness
Oh my god,
was upon us.
the China boot camp, and it was the down, the confidence going down and down and down. It
I
never
think
reached a
we
point
won
where it
one game,
became
I
down.
think.
One game?
One game, 2 games.
Yeah,
It
one
was.
against was Tess.
Did
We
we
won
win
one game, I
against?
remember.
We
Won
won
against
against Top
Tess one game.
Esports?
I solo
Holy
killed the
man,
Knight.
we should have had confidence.
I solo killed Knight, and then we snowballed mid to bot, or mid to top. Mid to top, most likely. And yeah, we won that game, I think. And that's it, because I don't remember any other win.
Yeah, because when I think of the
actually
China
don't.
bootcamp, I remember the duck and how I was pressured by Bo. Like Bo was telling me that I'm gonna kill this turkey for 2 weeks straight. And
Oh
I
my
didn't
god.
want to be rude. I was really ready to do it. Like, believe me, Jiizuké, I was ready to do it. Like, I know
Yeah.
some animal activists are gonna get upset, but it's food. I think if you can't kill your food that you're eating, then something's wrong.
I mean,
And
we saw the guy cutting the Beijing duck in front of us, regardless. They killed it 5 minutes before in the kitchen. So what's the difference, regardless?
it was crazy how little food that was. But it's like we're
Yeah,
Vitality
it
boys,
was
we
so
ate
huge. Yeah, it was so huge, but it was so little, yeah.
because it's like we Vitality boys. We ate a lot at the time, and the turkey just disappeared.
Yeah, 115 kilos, Jiizuké was there.
And now, how much Jiizuké?
80.
Holy shit, man!
Yeah, I think I lost it was like in that off season that I started.
Yeah,
In the off season, then went to China.
yeah.
And I was like 115. I went to 108 to start the summer, and then I lost like I think it was 7, but we were going gym together. So I lost 7 kilos. I went to 101 at the end of the summer, and then I lost like 20 kilos in the off season.
And
I
you ate
yeah,
eggs and
practice.
chicken only, no? Eggs and chicken?
Just no, not only eggs and chicken, just like eggs, chicken. I was doing like half keto, like
Okay.
with peanut butter, nuts, chicken, eggs, tomatoes. So it was like some carbs, but it was mostly like 90% protein.
Yeah,
So but anyway, I was doing 1 meal a day. Like I was eating at 2 p.m. and then I was not eating until the next day. So it was 24 hours fasting.
yeah,
And like
yeah.
the first week during the night, I could not sleep. Like it was it was so hard.
Yeah, I
But then
can imagine.
I got used to it, and then it like I didn't even feel hungry. I was just like proteins in your body is insane. Like you
Honestly,
never
like
feel
when you
hungry
get
and
used
you
to
never
it,
have sleep coma either.
like when you get used to it, it's so next level.
Yeah,
Like you wake up, you don't feel the need to do anything, or like just that feeling alone. Because usually in off season, what I do is like eat 1 meal a day, because it's just
yeah,
time efficient, and I don't feel bad at all. Like I
yeah,
don't feel like a drop of energy at any point in the day, which I
yeah,
think is really, really OP, especially like when, for example, for you, you need to be like your life is pretty high maintenance. Like if you are, even if you're
mm,
watching VODs, that takes energy. I think
yeah,
like if I'm tired and I'm watching a VOD, I'm like just pressing like the button and I don't take anything in. So I think like maintaining that consistency is really, really key.
yeah. I mean, I'm even doing that right now. Well, not at the level of season. Like I'm eating more protein, but it's still mostly keto.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
it's like the stamina that you have. I have never felt a single day that I don't know. In Vitality, I will feel fifth game maybe I'm eating because I'm
yeah.
fucking sleeping almost. But now it's like my stamina is like really huge. Like I never feel tired until 1 a.m. and
Our chef
I
was
can
very
just play
RNG,
all the
man.
time. It was fast food. Food.
It was really RNG. Like one day he's smurfing, the next day he was making pizza. Jiizuké his favorite.
Yeah, and then I'm fasting. I'm deciding to fasting at dinner.
Yeah. I hear you. I hear you cleaning the pan in the kitchen while we're eating. You're ready to cook some eggs. Holy moly.
It was really whatever. Like, and then he was asking, "Oh, is it?" And then
He's looking at you.
yeah.
I remember he was
would
being
say,
so nice as well. You're like, yeah, yeah.
I would lie as well. I said, yeah, I ate a pizza in Milan and it was 7, so this pizza is 5. I was giving a compliment, but in reality it was like 3,
Yeah,
2.
yeah.
Like 2 or
He was
3, you know. So,
insulted by that. He was even
yeah,
insulted by that. But I was like, wow, Jiizuké.
it
That
was a
took a lot of
compliment.
effort.
The 5 was a compliment.
And then I
Yeah.
remember we hear the door. I was like, did he leave? Did he leave? Oh my god.
Oh my god, man. Yeah.
Holy shit, man.
Yeah,
So
we
your
were
chef
all
in Evil Genius is OP or what?
we have catering every day and the food
Oh,
is good, yeah. And then on like Saturday, Sunday we don't have catering and we just order.
okay.
And mostly, I mean, the food here is insane. Like generally,
Oh,
like the
man.
taste is just way different, and like quality is just really good. And
Yeah.
also, I love Korean food. So here, whenever you order Korean food, it actually tastes like Korea level. So
Yeah.
it's like, and also because I'm eating only protein, I just order a lot of meat, and yeah, it's good for my diet.
That's cool, man. Yeah, like when I was in
Yep.
LA, like I heard the story that a lot of the best chefs from Asia don't make enough money in Asia, so they just go to LA to open a restaurant, and like the
Mm.
competition is like insane in terms of like the restaurants.
I mean, I can tell there are many Asians here. Like there are. I won't be surprised if the percentage is like 20 or 30% of the
Yeah.
population. That's it.
So the catering. So it must like Evil Genius's offices, are they huge or what? Like your room looks huge.
Uh, yeah. Like I don't know what the other offices look like.
Yeah, yeah.
But the office is huge. Like we have everything we need, and we have apartments. So yeah.
How's that going for you, Jiizuké? living in an apartment. I can't imagine.
Like you have more responsibilities, and I mean, I never felt the need to have privacy myself.
Yeah.
The moment I left my house, I just focused on my career regardless, and I just want to play every day and give my best every day. So I didn't even, I never felt to have my privacy and just do something on my own. So it's kind of a change for me because I feel like gaming house can give you so much compared to an apartment. Like just everyone living together, building synergy in and outside of the game, and I think you can feel it. Yeah, like the difference is. I mean, the privacy can be nice. There have been times in Italy where I'm like, I just want to have my fucking PC in my room and just play.
Attila gets fucking loud, man. We can say that. I think everyone knows Attila's fucking loud, man.
Oh my god, man! Oh my god!
He speaks in 3 languages: Portuguese, Spanish,
okay, maybe I'm
Swahili.
biased because but if I hear like I don't know Mowgli screaming in Korean, it's fine, like it's a nice language. But then you hear Portuguese and it's like
it's harsher.
Or Spanish, it's like it's harsher. Is the voice of evil looks like, and it's so fucking loud. Like it's just it was impossible to be in the same room. So I'm like. Sometimes I offended him because I'm like, can you please shut up? Like sometimes I did it, and he felt offended, and I feel sorry for that. But sometimes my mind will really go boom. Like it was impossible.
No, for sure. Like I remember in the beginning of spring.
Actually, I remember like you had your own apartment in Vedali, right? So you were going always home, but when you stayed, your mental was like, what's going on here? I remember like we were sitting like in front of each other, so we were looking at each other and we were looking at it like this.
Like I was shocked. I looked at you. I was shocked. I was like, you live with this.
This
You live with this.
This is for 3 years of my life.
And then I remember Cabo was promised.
3 years.
Cabo was promised a PC for so long, and then eventually he just took a PC and put it in his room. It was a good move.
He was staying there forever. I never saw Cabo shut up the day. But it was fine because we built 2 years of synergy. So like we're fine with each other. We're friends. So
I think having a mix is good. I see the benefits, but I think it also depends heavily on the person.
Yeah.
I think like
I think you can solve it as well just by doing activities together, like spending more time in the gaming room and stuff, and just get used to each other. And then you feel like you have a gaming house, and then like I don't know, maybe this will do that. Maybe just do third blocks and just stay more together and stuff. And then you have your hours where you want to sleep and have your private space for like 3-4 hours, and then you sleep and you have like 7-8.
Yeah. You mentioned 3 blocks. Do you guys scrim 3 blocks?
Or
how much do you guys scrim?
We did a few. No, only 2 times I think we scrimmed 3.
Okay.
I don't know. We're just trying. Like the days are long here compared to you, by the way.
Like, it's like you're done very early, right?
I wake up at 10, by the way.
Oh. Like when do you play LCS on your time?
Well, yesterday we played the 4:30. No, we played at 6:30 on stage, but it's because it's Monday Night League.
Yeah.
It's this
so it's
league
late.
and you play. Yeah, it's the only day is late. Like on Sunday, Saturday. Okay, 2 days ago we played at 11:30, so we had to be.
What?
Wait, no, it was 12:30. We had to be at the studio at 10:30. So I woke up at 9:30. I did my schedule and then I prepared and then I went to the studio with my team. But it's like you have to wake up so fucking early. Like it never happened in Battlefield.
Holy,
like
first game sucks.
Yeah. Like comparison to you wake up at 12:30 and you are getting ready for eating at 1 and playing at 2. So it's like late schedule against early schedule.
It's like for those, just for those who don't know, like in Europe, the first game that you can have, the earliest on Saturday is 5, and you have to leave at like.
Wait, it was 5? Okay, never mind.
5.
You have to leave at 3. You leave at 3. If
like you leave a bit later, right? Because you didn't have to wait for a game. Like usually, like if you play like second, you had to wait maybe because you don't know how long games are. Sometimes 20 minutes. And you can play as early as like 11. Is that like the earliest game?
In an A?
Yeah.
It's 12, the first game.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's mad, man.
But yeah,
But
it's
at least,
just early against late, basically, yeah.
yeah, but at least you can scrim the same hours, right? So that's good. Because in Europe we had the
Yeah.
problem of like we can't start scrimming at 6 in the night, because then we will be done scrimming
Yeah.
like at 1 or something.
Yeah, now basically they did they have the European scrims schedule.
Yeah,
They
so
did
5 games.
5 games, and now we were looking to do third blocks, but I think we did once, and I don't know if we will do more.
Okay.
But it's because like the days are just really long. Like we will start our third block at 6-5, so that's how much the day is longer. You don't get to play at night, but no one plays at night. Like NA is look, no one plays at night. In you
Really?
would meet a lot of pro players until 2 a.m.
So like when you
3
say
a.m.
night,
I
you
mean,
mean like late night.
yeah, like in Korea, you play until 4 and you meet pro players. I remember
Yeah.
when from the bootcamp, and you at 2 you still face pro players, but here it's like you have 20 minutes queue at 1 a.m. So yeah, it's a bit of waste of time.
Okay. And scrim culture, like if you compare, like I think a lot of people, and I'm curious too about the contrast. Like you've lived both worlds now, right? It's like
Yeah.
NA scrims. How different are they from LEC? Like what stands out to you?
In NA, well, okay. Sometimes this is true as well for you. That like screams are different from stage.
Yeah.
But we both know that when you are at the top of the table, screams and stage are the same thing. Like at Worlds, we never thought about playing different champions because something is good on stage and something
Yeah,
is good
of
on
course,
stream
of
only.
course.
And
Yeah.
like when we were playing Fnatic or GTU, we were drafting the same as well. So
Yeah.
like the top 4 teams in EU play the same practice and stage.
Yeah.
But in NA is like I'm playing 2 different games. Like
Oh.
I don't know if you saw my Oriana game that I played
Yeah.
on stage. I missed every single shockwave. I legend missed every single shockwave.
Yeah.
In scrims, I got maybe 5-man shockwaves all the time. Like people is playing just aggressive, they contest objectives and everything. Then they go on stage. Everyone is playing passive. They're fucking shouting, "Don't fucking get it, ball! Don't walk in there! Just don't walk in there!" You know, like I was like just waiting. There was a fight that lasted 3 minutes in
Yeah.
mid. We were just around 3 minutes, and I'm like, okay, when I'm supposed to shockwave here, how much should I wait? Should I wait that Syndra ease me, or like yes, a stun every 10 seconds and I have a shockwave? So when am I going to shockwave? And then I ended up missing every single shockwave, but like a few that I did like 3 man 4 man. But like the game is just really different. Like I think maybe Cloud9 plays the same,
Okay.
and well, Dignitas because they have Une.
Yeah.
But then other teams,
You just play more
everyone plays.
aggro, the classic.
Yeah,
like-
everyone plays just different. They play so passive on stage.
Yeah. Do you think
Like,
that's tied to confidence? Or what do you think it's tied to? Because I think like it makes sense that C9 play the same because like looking at their games, I think they seem more confident than anyone else. Like even if something goes wrong, because like sometimes they do like bad shit, but they don't get punished for it. I feel.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I feel like they are fearless. Like even if it happens, they just continue.
Yeah.
It's as if they
Like, you know,
know that they are
even,
better. You know.
Yeah. Like even our game against them, like if I flash on the Greg, I didn't see Greg. Like you saw the game.
I'm trying to remember. It was.
It was I
you
played
you
Rumble.
first pick Rumble.
I played Rumble.
Yeah.
I played Rumble and it was Cassio enemy. We ganked Cassio and then we were running out and then he's kissing and then he was like turning and then I almost killed him.
Yeah.
You remember the scenario? Anyway,
he survived with like 1 HP and the game was over.
Yeah, I didn't see I basically didn't see Gragas was coming. I did not see it. And like if I flash, he's flashy. I just kill Cassio, barrier away, and then it's like he's out of the game. We push and it's over.
Because Cassio flashed here, right?
Yeah. Yeah, flash and then he was turning on Jarvan basically. And then anyway, we failed that first. Then we were running top. Cassio 0 mana, 0 HP, and Gragas is chasing us without flash and in 8 seconds. We don't turn on him. Like if we turn there, it's over, and then we go top, and Licorice is getting pushed, but Kumo just he was focused on lane, so he didn't come first, but he could have come first.
I remember
So it was
this.
like 3 mistakes. It was a chain reaction. It was like if we just do one thing good, then this game is over for them, not for us. But then was a game over for us basically. But yeah, they play with confidence on stage, and I think it's nerves play a big part on it. I think on every single team. But for me, I'm still trying to just play the same stage and practice. But like in NA, it's really weird because no one plays. No one gives me chances to do anything because they just play overly passive. Like if I don't do anything and we're snowballing, we're gonna win the game. Like they just don't do anything.
It just sounds like you should play Echo then, man. It sounds like you should be playing Echo every game.
Yeah, like the games I had on the blank, it was legit. So if I'm going in, then I'm just giving a chance to enemy team to do something because they're doing nothing and they're waiting me to make a mistake. It was like this.
Yeah.
But yeah, any comparison NA AU, I guess NA is still following another region, while AU they have their own personality. That's what I would say.
That makes sense.
We are the second LCK, and EU is like they are similar to LPL, but when we play against LPL, we are different as well. So
I feel like with NA, I see a lot of teams really trying to draft simple, but simple is in a lot of cases wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure.
It's like, let's pick a strong champ, let's pick Sejuani here and not think about anything else.
Just pick late game. The thought process is the game will go slow, and just pick late game, and go for it.
I think this is a big reason why you get held back as well, right? It's like I like what C9 is doing because like even though sometimes I would question the drafts and their priority, I feel like they are trying to be outside of the boundaries of just like, oh, let's pick simple and hope for a win here instead of like let's try to achieve the next level.
They have win conditions in their drafts other than late game, so I think they just I mean Dintas is trying to do that as well. They picked Pantheon yesterday and didn't work out, but if it worked out, I think it would have been
I think picking Pantheon into set is just troll, no?
I saw some Pantheon winning guard sets, but I'm not sure. Like I don't play top, so I'm not sure.
I'm not sure about it either.
And anyway, I think Kuni is just better mechanical than every single top laner in NA. So he can pick team and win. It doesn't matter.
Okay. You're a Huni fan, huh?
No, he's the shy, but not the shy. Basically, he's the shy, but he's good. I mean, the shy is way more controlled and will make way less mistakes and just 1v2 way more than Uni will do. I think Uni needs more backup and stuff, while the shy will do his own thing more. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, I watched every single the shy streamer. He's way too insane.
Right, the shy is honestly, like it's rare that I feel myself being like a super fan of a player, especially like when we watch so much pro players. It is difficult to find those players where you're a super fan of, and the shy is like, I am in love, it's really like I get annoyed when I open the stream and he's playing like other shit games, like this jumping game and this dating game. Like I get it, he's taking a break, he's chilling, but he's not playing solo queue and it bothers me,
Just share info, come on, the shy. Play something and share info with the world. I mean, I've legit been only impressed by Rookie and the shy. When we played against IG at Worlds, it was fucking unreal, the things that were happening.
Honestly, I remember after the first game, like, we are supposed to review it, but I'm just sitting there. We're supposed to review it, and like...
What do you review even?
We were supposed to review it, and I'm sitting there, I'm like, holy shit!
We're shit at this game. That's the review. We failed this, everything, like...
There was just nothing to say. Like, I remember first game, we just lost in 15 minutes. And
it was the first time I felt inferior to another mid laner.
Yeah. I felt completely inferior in every regard, honestly.
Yeah.
It was
to
crazy.
To this day, only Rookie has made me feel inferior in scrims. And then what was my reaction in the season. I stayed in Korea for 2 months. I did not take a break because
Yeah.
in my mind I was reading words for next year and I wanted to practice and be ready for next words. So yeah, did not happen, but I gave my best.
Yeah. Well, I can say that too. That I know you gave your best. I know I gave my best, and it is what it is. You know. It's,
Yep.
like I know we walk away from the whole ordeal being better than we were before, you know. And I think,
Yeah.
regardless of what an experience gives as a reward, I think that the true reward is how it shapes us, as cliche as it might sound, you know.
Yep.
So I'm happy about it, and I will always cherish the times we spent together. You know, I really miss
Same.
you. I really do, Jiizuké.
Same, man.
It's weird not coaching, honestly. It's really weird.
Yeah. How should I call you? What are you doing now?
I'm an analyst on the LEC broadcast. I'm a YouTuber, free agent,
Yamato the YouTuber.
free agent, man. You know, I've been thinking, and I think next year or even in summer, if the right opportunity comes, I've been denying NA offers, but I'm uh,
Yeah,
I'm
you
I'm
told me.
ready. You know,
Mm.
because I think
Every,
I think what Reaper is doing, like every player that goes to C9 seems to become their true self. You know,
mm.
and I think
Well, from what I heard from Sven and others, they just work hard a lot and they have good work ethic from a Korean coach. It's
yeah.
like they just are together for a long time every day and they just practice a lot.
Yeah,
And
but he seems also modernized somehow, you know?
I think he doesn't. Usually Korean coaches they're like more of stable, but I think River wants to uh, make crazy things happen in game as well.
Yeah.
So he's not gonna push. Okay, Blabber, don't go fucking crazy here and just do your thing. You know, he just say do your thing. So they have more things to offer, basically.
Because, like, on my end, in terms of coaching, like, when I look at you, right? For example, when we were together, like, my
Yeah,
mission is to unlock you as much as possible, not shape you into what I believe you to be, you know?
yeah,
Because,
yeah.
like,
I remember. No, you
like
go.
I've noticed it was the same. Like it's always the same. Like with specific players, like every player is unique in their own way, and then sometimes you know when, for example, I see some draft scenarios where I know, oh, this is not good for Jiizuké. You know, this is he'll not be happy. You don't have to comment, but I know, I know you, and I think it's always the same, you know. I don't think league is a game where, oh, you have a guy who has 50 years of experience and he's the coach, whatever. He understands the game on another level, and the players are like pawns. Doesn't work like this, you know.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
think that the players are more like you need to unleash them, unlock them, and if they veer off the path, that's where you push them back, right? With basics
yeah,
and like problem solution. Like if you have a problem, if I say Jiizuké, okay, this champion is meta right now. How do we counter it? How do we beat it? If we can't, what do we do? And just push you in the right direction. You know, I think this is the
yeah,
game knowledge a coach needs to have. And then it's all
yeah,
about just making Jiizuké as possible, or any player as much them as possible, right?
yeah.
And I think Reaper, I think the big contrast for me, as silly as it might sound, I think the fact that he was a player and he was the type of player that really played.
That counts a lot. Yeah, that for sure counts a lot.
The fact that he was a player that really did he re-innovated top always. Like he was
Mm.
playing whatever the fuck he wanted top. I remember he was playing Evelyn top and he just left top. He was roaming, Dove bot, Dove mid, and the enemy top laner, this was like season 2. People, well, like, what the fuck is happening, man? This is like
Yeah,
innovation, you know? And I
yeah,
think the wildness, as long as, and I think screaming against Korean team is really healthy because they are like robots.
mm.
That's why I was like, G2, the fact that they screamed in Europe was like the biggest mistake ever for Worlds. Because if they went into Korea, it's like practicing against fucking AI, you know? You practice
Yeah,
against a team that doesn't want to do mistakes and you can just fucking test shit. You can test shit, you can make
yeah,
whatever mistakes you want, and you just get you're faced with a wall, And then it's
I
like
think
when we
that's
scream
for
G2,
sure why they lost words. That's
yeah,
for sure.
yeah, I'm
They
with you,
should.
man. I think that was like everyone came to Europe. People like, yeah, let's bootcamp in Europe, but everyone's like looking at G2 like, teach us,
Let's give
teach
it
us.
to you. Oh, teach us.
For sure, for sure. But I think
But yeah, I remember when I came to you can finish your point.
No, I was just saying that Rupert being a player, I think that really, really helps him. And I think there's a balance to making sure that practice is good and also making sure that players are still themselves, And I think in a lot of cases, in some of the other NA teams, and also in the LCK, I think some teams are being pushed into boxes. But I think the level of LCK understanding in terms of how to play the game, like people don't like watching LCK, but I think some of the teams in LCK are really, really fucking good.
Yeah, Dragon X is fucking insane for me.
Yeah, lane wise,
When
holy
I was
shit,
playing,
man.
yeah. The things Deft and Carry are doing bot lane is like really insane.
Yeah. I think also
It's not Deft lane phase is just nuts. I think.
that's crazy. This is another
Yeah,
guy that I just watch.
it's
I'm
rookie of bot lane, legit. Rookie of
yeah.
bot lane.
It's like the roster shuffle almost drove me insane over in Korea because there was a potential if you had the right players everywhere to make like you win worlds
Pure three super
automatically.
teams. Pure
Yeah.
three super teams.
It's like every
Because
team has like two super players. It's
yeah,
pretty funny. But
yeah.
before
And
we,
it's Korea
before,
is just
go ahead. Sorry.
yeah. Korea is just they get to practice solo queue China and Korea together, and they push their limits mechanically 24/7, and they just have good practice overall in scrims. So they will always improve every day. While
Yeah.
NA and EU solo queue shit,
No.
practice is not the best. So it's like. I mean, I'm pretty sure Jiizuké didn't like to scream us
Yeah,
when
for
we
sure.
invaded.
Like we
So they
honestly
would
we
just
didn't like
like
to
to
scream
scream
them either,
Fnatic.
man.
Yeah, we screamed them. They gave us the chance once or two times. Then we got 0-5, 0-6 because we are just inting all over the place, and then we just don't scream anymore, basically. But yeah, I could imagine G2 was screaming only Fnatic, and yeah, in NA, I guess still Liquid screams Cloud9, and then from everyone else, they don't get any practice. So while in Korea, you can scream anyone you want, and like
It's
there's
really
at
OP.
least 10 good teams between China and Korea, so you can have insane practice every day and insane practice in Seoul.
Yeah.
But about about my point about
Where were we?
coaching wise stuff.
Yeah.
I remember when I came to Vitality, like I didn't know much about macro at all.
Mm-hmm.
Like because in Giants I did not learn. Like I was letting at the time it was like Attila, Jack Troll, and Gilius talking
Yeah.
only. So and Ruin didn't have much good English back then,
Yeah.
so he was not saying much, and I was not saying much either. I always been the player that focused more on mechanics and stuff. So like I felt I would. Like Gilius, you remember, he talk a lot. So
Yeah.
even me talking in game was pretty useless because anyway, they would have dominated the comps, and I
Yeah.
would just be hustled pretty much. But yeah, when I came in Vitality, it was like I think it took me 1 month to learn about macro.
Yeah.
Like from you and Kaboshard, you were teaching me a lot, and then after that, it was like even if I made mistakes, I knew what was the right macro play.
Yeah.
So like you were not so angry with me, like even if I went for plays and stuff, and like you gave me freedom from the after that basically you said oh actually this guy saw this is year and year and he's going for it. I can see it as well, and that's why I think you gave me the free pass there, and that's how I became confident and just go for every single play I could possibly think of. And like that year I snowballed pretty well. Every like I entered in yes, what was it? Against Splice, against Fnatic, I don't remember if I entered in the best of five.
In the
Insane
best of
fans.
five, I guess you entered the ban. That was.
Oh no, okay, I entered the ban, and then in game I ulted into Swain and Broxa, like into
Yeah.
Captain Broxa. You remember that wall? Oh, holy shit! I
Yeah.
entered there, and then I Splice. That was the first time I entered on stage. But then after that, like I redeemed myself with the best of five against Misfits in summer. I think as much the wit word.
Yeah, for sure. That was like redemption, man. I remember.
Yeah.
I remember that zillion dive you did. That Zillion dive? You're
I'm
like,
like,
Kikis!
I'm screaming, Kikis, come! Can we do this? Kikis, fucking come right now! It's free. It was like so. I went to rewatch it, and it was like, why did I call for this? But it was so fucking good in
It
game.
was
Like
so
I don't know
fucking
why.
insane, actually.
Yeah, and then we took Evelyn as well, and we forced ult and flash. It was insane.
That was next level, that dive. I will never forget
Yeah.
that dive.
Wait, you remember the LeBlanc? The LeBlanc, I killed Dansama in enemy base and Kabuja was mad at
Oh
me for
yeah.
going in. Like I went 1v5 over sieging top with Nashor on the second tower, and I dived them almost close to Nexus tower. I one-shot the Ansama and went back and I was alive.
He was
1v5.
playing Tristana. He had no W, no R. I don't know what he was doing.
It was, I don't know, I was way too confident.
I think Hansama is happy that we're out, man.
Huh?
I think Hansama had full mental block against you, Attila.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think he's very happy that we're not in Europe anymore.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
But yeah,
Sorry.
But yeah, talking about 2018, I guess it was like up at start, then April was down in the best of 5. Then I think it was like we went. I remember we went bootcamp in Korea and we screamed Chinese teams and stuff. So we were like playing only prime lane.
Fucking Doinby,
like,
man.
Galio Predator, Talon Predator. Like actually, I played Talon Predator on stage, right? Yeah,
you did against Echo, no? Or you played Echo into Talon, no?
No. I played the Talon against Lulu, against Rocket, Betsy.
Oh
Betsy Lulu.
yeah, he solo killed you.
I got solo killed because he had like airy resolve and I could not kill him and I just wanted to roam. But like we got bot tower from my roam, but I did not get kills. But in scrims, they just stay under tower. They gave me 2 kills. I'm fucking doubled. But the game I was at 0-0-0 for a while, and then no, I was 0-2-0 or something. Like I did not get assist, but I would sacrifice like 30 CS mid to get our bot. We had the Draven or something, so it was like worth in some cases.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Well, at least it was an easy game. It was Giants Betsy.
It was not
place.
Rocket. It was Giants Betsy, not Rocket Betsy.
Giants Betsy, Giants Steelback.
Ruin. Sir Nuxalot.
Sir Nuxalot. Oh my god. Comet Fiddlesticks.
Comet he knew it.
He knew it.
People did it after. People did it after. He knew it. It was the meta. And then it was like, down in the period, and then it went Ig, the summer, then Ig words, and then, all stars as well.
Yeah.
So it was full Ig.
Holy.
It was 80% Ig, 20% down, I guess.
Yeah. Oh, that first year was amazing. And then like I think my mistake, if I look back at that, was underestimating practice in the off season. That was a big one. Because when
I can't believe it. Like I came in January and I'm like, I'm so fucking insane mechanical and everything. And then everyone else is getting soul killed everywhere. Jungle, like I think only me and Mowgli practice in the season.
Yeah.
Kabushard had 0 games. Atia Jackal had 0, well, maybe 20 games in 4 months.
Yeah. But at least Kabushard,
Yeah, Kabushard
it's
can
like
take all the vacations he wants, but he will be in shape in 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
Yeah. And even then,
it doesn't matter.
I think he becomes better than he ever was. Because I think
Kabushard has the best mindset about spending his vacation, like how to spend his vacation. He knows exactly what he wants to refresh his mind and be ready for next week. That's something I admire from him because I cannot do that. I don't know. It's hard for me to relax. I just think about the game all the time, so my mind doesn't get relaxed as much.
For sure.
But he does it the best, for sure. And he knows also fun.
You know that split when he came back, it was still like his form was insane. Like after some time, like I remember we scrimmed against OG, we scrimmed against Alfari, and he was like, "Holy shit, Alfari is so much better than me." And then he just fucking he non-stop played.
He was getting destroyed. He was getting destroyed. I'm like, I cannot accept getting destroyed by Alfari.
And then he became like he went Super Saiyan. Like honestly. That split, he was really nuts, and like that year, I think he had like the year of his life in terms of like individual performance.
Yeah, I mean, it was also like me having health issues and not being able to perform on stage, but we were really weak. So Mowgli was like, "Okay, what's my bet here?" And he went to play on top side, and it was like we were playing Jarvan and shit, so it was really easy to play. Like he gets pressure top, roam into mid, and it was really easy to play the game back then.
Because as a coach, it's like I have
we
to.
beat the players, but
It was just, you try to become as good as you are in preparation for playoffs, as good as possible, but then you realize at one point, like you need to play in order to get wins, to get to
Yeah.
playoffs. It's like you need to find
Yeah.
a balance. And there's
Yeah.
like a point in time, it's like we had so many issues in terms of like the level of like us as a team, and in terms of the biggest
Yes.
miss for me was practice in off season, because when I got you guys for the first time, you guys like played LVP final like 14th December or some
Yeah.
shit.
We didn't take a break.
It didn't take a
So,
break, 2 weeks break, and then you guys came in. You guys were mechanically sound. You were ready to go, like fire mode.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
that thing was missing. And then also it's like for Mowgli as well, like the sub thing, the level he had in Africa was really really insane. And then
Yeah.
forgetting the pieces that puts him there was also like a big mistake, because like he's
Yeah.
sitting next to Kuro and Keen, and I can imagine they are like they're workhorses, they're focusing, they're very like strict, and I'm just imagining here. And then like he has three substitutes waiting behind his back, they're breathing on his neck, there's a Spirit and
Yeah.
Dread and some other guy, I don't even know his name, they're just waiting in line, and I think
Yeah.
when you put this into consideration, it was like this was like a big part of my plan coming into this year. It's like Mowgli, I think, can be really really insane as a player, and it's crazy to me that Vitality, like Mowgli is still signed on the Vitality and they're not utilizing him.
Even after I was kicked, I suggested to just make him stay in the gaming house, and
Yeah,
because they asked for feedback, and I said if he stays in gaming house and you make him compete with skins, he's gonna be 10 times better than him, because
yeah,
that's what he was in Africa. Just when we saw him in Africa, he was one of the best junglers I've ever seen,
yeah. One of
and
the absolute best.
I mean that's why I told you in off season I really want this guy,
Yeah,
and just in I think it's just yeah, just being homesick and not having this competition. Even if one game is out of 10 or 20, it was like the best jungler you could ever see. Like against G2, I remember one game he fucking smurfed so fucking hard. He 1v9 that game.
yeah.
Like,
You mean
or
the
like
Garen game?
well, it doesn't really matter for the Garen, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like
like
he killed
Jankos
he
was
healed Jankos, no?
yeah,
He killed him and then he took
he
blue.
made Jankos look like a ranked 10 jungler
Yeah,
compared to Mowgli. So, like, and then like in scrims we saw as well that some games he will be really insane, but just
yeah.
inconsistency is what made him that way.
I also
But
thought
I
about
think in
something.
Korea he would have been better.
Yeah.
I mean,
I,
you remember he went Tanok every single day because he missed Korean food so much. He was
yeah.
really homesick. Like he could not eat European food and everything. So it was
Yeah.
just a mix of things. But I think if he has a chance to play, he will still be insane jungler.
Yeah. I think also game knowledge wise, it's rare that the jungler knows so much.
Yeah, and also because of English barrier, he could not say as much as he wanted. Like you could see in his face, he was frustrated. That he
Yeah.
wanted to say something, but he doesn't know the exact words. So I think one thing that I'm mirror, like there is bang and Iran, right? So
Yeah.
it's like if someone can say something, that the other will say it. So it's like there is nothing that should have been said, but they didn't say because they cannot say it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like another Korean, well, we are done, I guess, but maybe Mowgli didn't feel involved, like to talk about everything he wanted to. I'm not sure.
Like the way I interpreted it as well was, sometimes like it was very visible that Mowgli was upset, or something like was
Yeah,
going on. And like I'm
yeah,
the
yeah,
type of person.
yeah, ticks. You could see it in his face, like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
he would just
And
like
as
this.
as a person, like I spend the whole day watching you guys. So it's like even now as we've been talking, I notice like I notice in your face expression when there are some things that you have in your mind but you don't want to say, because obviously you can't fucking vent everything out there. Where some you are so I can read this, because I will never forget this. I watched you for 2 years, right?
Yeah,
And the
I
same with
just watch.
Mowgli. And the difficulty for me, the point I wanted to make is, sometimes it was hard to get anything out of him because it's so ingrained in him to never complain about anything or never to express like
Yeah,
negative emotion. Because he was like the least emotional player in terms, like he was the most professional, but sometimes that can like just weigh you down when in reality you can like solve it and make it easier.
After hinting every scream, we broke him. He finally was laughing, hinting with us in screams. Like the games will be, I don't know, a game will be level 1 went wrong, and the game is doomed, and then Mowgli will be like still tryharding, but it was like maybe game is way too doomed to actually tryhard, and then everyone is just laughing and yeah, let's do this, let's try this, let's try this, and then the first times he was like, what the fuck is going on? And then after it's like laughing with us. We broke him after a few months, I think. We actually broke him.
It was crazy. Like I thought about the whole jungle thing as well, and I think, like in my entire time in Vitality, I've always tried to push our junglers to play like jungle absolutely perfect. Yeah. And I think this is something that very little teams in Europe actually did, because I think what we did before anyone else was that we figured out how to actually play early game.
Yeah.
Like in terms of like using jungle to pressure and using jungle to control space and play in a way where if we control enemy jungle, we can play aggro on 3 lanes. And this is, I think, why we had like a lot of success. While no one else in Europe did this. Like most of the time, the losses we had were when like dives just went wrong.
Yeah, like there were many examples with Gilles, but way more with Kigis. With Kigis, I think it was like this playstyle was more because he really wanted to invade, and we could give him pry on 3 lanes because we were just either better mechanically or better at playing on stage than any team, because we would just be nervous on stage, so we just play so fucking aggro that they don't know what's going on, and then we just win automatically by winning early game. It was fun to play.
It's like, you know, like people always say that Vitality didn't know how to macro, you know, but I think like if we had a weakness, I think it was how to play from behind, because I think we got very impatient. Because I think in a lot of scrims, like when we fall behind, I think we had like the habit of just like, oh, fuck it, let's test limits. You know, and I think this hurt us, you know. But when we were ahead, we won fast.
Yeah.
We won fucking fast.
We will don't lose if Killus misses might on Asher or something. Can't remember, like, actually, on Spring, I think the only loss we had was against Misfits. We should have been 8-0, right? We should have been 8-0, but we lost against Misfits.
I think that game put us. That was 5-1.
Yeah, Max solo Kha'Zix, he fucking hard, and then he went answer.
He went around.
And then the Jarman Redsmite, he said, I'm never buying Redsmite again. I want my words. And then next year.
Not even next year, it was next patch. It was next patch.
Prismite is gone.
Holy, that was hilarious. You know, the reason I raised the thing with perfection of jungle, I think, you know, when we came into the season, I think you, me, and Cabo, we had the expectation of playing like at the highest level. And I don't think we could reach that highest level without going through like from the bottom, because we were at the bottom. So like when we were scrimming and we were losing because of really silly shit, that was really, really frustrating. Because we all had the expectation.
Yeah, I think at start we were really trying to not hint ourselves as well. But then after a while, everyone lost it. We were like, you are accepting the hint of everyone. We are accepting that we can hint in game. And then it's like everyone is hinting after a certain amount of times. Because like we were just doing mistakes in game that were obvious, but we keep doing them all the time. So it became routine. Like it became, it's acceptable, right? It became like that, and it's really wrong. Like
it was like the issue was, I remember trying so many different things to try to figure out this issue where scrims was just terrible, right? And then eventually, like what my job became was that I had to sell you guys fucking snake oil, you know? Before going on stage, I was telling you guys, oh, all the lessons are there, everything is good, and that worked. That worked for the longest time ever, you know? It's like the lessons are there, and then like before the game starts, I'm like giving a whole lesson on how to play macro, and it's like we need to do this, we need to focus on this, the draft is coming up here. And then I remember on stage, Mowgli, say pathing right after I leave. Now guys, macro is this. It was mental, you know, because it's like you have to make the most out of it, you know.
And then we lost. You know, you were saying it's okay that we lost every scrim, but we know the lessons and we go on stage and we can win. But
Yeah.
then we started and we were winning every game. But then
Yeah.
we started our lost streak, and then you can even say, we can learn from our lessons. Like, you could not even say it, and then we're like, just play and see where we go. Just play.
Oh, it's like, like I'm talking about 2019. Because 2018, our scrims were not that
Ah,
terrible.
I was talking about 2018.
Yeah, you were talking about 2018 spring, right?
Yeah,
Because like
yeah.
we had some issues, right? Eventually, we like in summer we replaced Gilius, right, to move on and to change things up because the dynamic, like we were already having some issues that we had to deal with already in spring. But it's
I think
like
January, February was insane scrims. I remember. Like we
yeah, like
won
we came
every
in,
single. We won 70%, 80%
yeah,
for the first
like
time in my life.
Like I think even at Worlds in the beginning we were losing a scrim, but then the week before I remember we were scrimming Team Liquid,
Yeah, we
Fnatic,
won every
and
single
we
game
won
almost.
every single game. So it's
Yeah.
like 2018. I look back at it, it was fine. 2019, that's when the wizardry really started in terms of like I think our
Yeah.
solo queue, like our scrim win ratio was like less than 5%,
Yeah.
and we scrimmed Turkish teams.
Yeah.
It was really rough.
I thank you. You didn't dare to book a regional league team. I wonder if you would have lost. I'm not sure if you would have lost or not.
It's like I can even admit that we were losing scrims against Vitality Academy.
Yeah. Oh my God. Actually, we
By
lost
the
the
end,
day
we got
before.
all
The
fight
day
by
before.
Vitality Academy.
It was disgusting, actually.
It
Like
was,
mechanically, we were everyone better, but just we played aggro and Skins was getting kills because we just didn't respect anything. We just okay, I'm going aggro. If you don't cover, then I'm dead. It just
but it wasn't like
bot mid top. It was like that. Like
it was silly because even at that point, I don't even think it was about playing aggro. It was like some games were just lost because of so silly stuff. It's like, oh, we forgot to ward Tribush, so we got level 2 ganked bot, and then
yeah,
the
like
game was over.
in my opinion, everyone was just mental boom, and they were going to a game not thinking about what was their job in the game, and then it was like they forget to award, they forget just a jungle timer, or like they don't respect fake pressure, and then I mean it was myself as well. I was thinking as well, and then it's like just everyone is dying at every single timer because they're like. Well, if I don't win here, then we're not gonna win the scrim because we had anyway 5% win rate, right?
Yeah, yeah.
10% rate. So everyone wants to give their best to carry, but playing as a team is always more rewarding in the end,
But it's like
and just respecting and everything.
even then, like looking back at the year, for me, what we managed going to playoffs twice with the position we were in terms of the level we were playing at was a miracle, I think. Like it's weird, but as a coach, that year was one of the years that I worked the hardest,
Yeah.
because like we were in the position like our bot lane, they were dying to Sona Tarek level 1, right? This was the level we were at one point, and
Yep.
we managed to reach playoffs twice in a position where even in summer we started 0-4. It was crazy, and I think especially I don't want to talk about the Jack Troll Attila thing that they did on Twitter because it's just
Yeah.
sad. I don't want
Not.
to talk about it, but
Yeah.
the thing that came out was that people imagined that our like even though our scrims were bad and things were rough, I don't necessarily think that I've been in so many different team environments, and this team environment was not bad, in the sense that it was not hostile. No one was like overly negative. No one was angry. Like everyone was frustrated that we were not finding the right way, which is understandable, right? But I think moving on from there, I don't think I look back at that and see like, oh, this was a painful time for me, in terms of like engaging with you or with anyone else, because it's important for me to highlight that looking at this back at this time, it wasn't as bad, because even with Jackro and Attila like arguing with each other now, like they were still acting professional, they were acting professional. There were issues, normal, but they were professional, and so was everyone else,
Yeah.
I think that's important to highlight. I don't want to fucking talk about that shit, man. People are gonna ask,
Yeah.
but I really don't care.
I don't want to add stuff either, so
Yeah,
we can go next.
we can definitely go next. I wanted to, we mentioned, like, I'm thinking Vitality Times. Is there anything else to raise? Because I think you having the health problems was rough. Us not practicing was really rough. Mowgli not having a sub was really rough, and I think we could just never really recover in the splits. Because
I can only say from my own perspective, like for me, even if I had health issues, like for those, how long was it? 1 month, 2 months? Like by the end of spring playoffs, like spring playoffs, when we faced Fnatic, I was at my best I could be, and like I could have performed insane if we were just, we were just a bad team, honestly. Like I think we had no chance going into Fnatic.
But I think also it's important to not underestimate like you were having the hardest time ever. Right? It was really hard for me to be there, because I knew I couldn't do anything, and I think the practice the practice there matters, right?
Yeah, for sure. Like you scream with Sagan so many times as well.
Yeah.
So we were like just we didn't have much practice, so it for me it didn't really matter that I was on my best. Like both spring playoffs and summer playoffs, I was at my best I could be, but it didn't matter because anyway, like the practice we had was either bad for my tissues or well, in summer it was bad because we were just we came back from China and we lost every single scrim, and then we snowballed into summer. We could not scrim top teams. We only screamed the bad teams because they refused to scrim against us. And then it was just we're playing against Schalke, and if I can play for lane, I can go 26 side, but they just were. I remember Ignar. Wait, who was Schalke jungler? I don't remember.
Trick.
Oh, Ignar Trick. They were playing together all the time, and it was like really hard to play mid.
I think
that the better synergy.
The Vitality versus Fnatic, I think for sure they was just better. I think it was.
Schalke was winnable for sure.
Schalke was winnable for sure as well because I look back at those drafts and I'm fucking amazed at what we got, because they didn't play Yumi, they didn't play any of like the OP shit, and
and we also always had better match of mid jungle, so we were like, if we play good, then we're gonna win, but we just didn't.
Because looking back at the series,
we're not proactive. Basically, we're not proactive.
I hate to throw Mowgli under the bus, but he had a rough series. Because Mowgli was level 5 to level 2 or 3 because we had like really insane jungle plan. Like first game, okay, we tried the Graves, Kartus. We don't reveal the strategy because maybe it comes out one day.
It will stay there forever.
It will stay in the darkness. People have been asking me actually.
Unless I shared with my teammates.
No,
it's set in motion.
We will be in the same team in like 6 years, man.
Yeah, we can do it. Then if the champions are brave.
It was honestly the amount of cocktail we figured out on that, and it ended so sad. We just all died level 1.
Everything could have went wrong, and like I can't even believe the mechanics of that level 1. I'm getting level 2 from raids.
Yeah.
And then we won the fight, but the fight is over. Like everyone's dead.
We won the fight, but the fight is over.
We have the best level 1 in the game, and we lost.
Yeah, we drafted level 1.
Jace, Kartus, Ezreal, and what was it? The 5th?
Like, did we have Braum? We legit had Braum, no?
We had Braum?
I think we had Braum.
Braum or Tankins, maybe?
I think Braum. And then we had like Caitlyn Morgana.
Yeah, like with the best level, and we were against Nyar, Silas. What was the jungle?
Morgana? Caitlyn Morgana,
and the jungle was.
And then, I think it was like Gragas. I think it was Gragas.
Or Sejuani, maybe.
Something like a tank, for sure.
Yeah, like it was so free, and we lost. Like it should have been nice. Snowball level 5 to level 2. Like I don't know.
For sure. It was rough. And then like the other games, I remember like we were like level 5 on jungle, level 2 enemy jungle, and then it's like we just did something silly, like some mid 2v2. Like it was 1, and then like maybe Mowgli ran in and then died, and then it's like mechanical mistake, and it was like it was rough. Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to throw Mowgli under the bus either, but the last game on Skarner was.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 weeks ago I saw my Orianna. It was the worst Orianna ever, and like this Skarner like was also the worst Skarner ever. Like he missed everything he could have done wrong. He did wrong. Like it was not. But I think he was just really nervous to play.
Yeah.
Like given to going to that point, he was just nervous to play.
Yeah. No,
it was our situation to be in.
even after this playoffs, even after this year, I think I look back at my career and I think my biggest strength is knowing what players can and cannot do, you know, and what they're capable of. And
Yeah.
if I would still be the coach of Vitality, then you two would still be playing 100%. You know, 100%.
Yeah.
I would have a sub behind Mowgli. I was there are many junglers out there, you know, that
I mean,
are
even
willing to
skins,
fight.
you know, the skins is good, like
Yeah,
mechanically.
mechanically skins is
If
good.
you,
Yeah,
I think if you will put Mowgli and skins, like if they would have put Mowgli and skins, you would have legit put them in a good environment competition, because I think with the Korean, like the competition can be done. I think European doesn't really work.
yeah,
Like the clash of ego and stuff will happen for sure, but maybe a Korean and European is just different, and like they will just push each other to be better.
for sure.
So yeah, I'm sad that didn't happen for this year for him.
Yeah. Have you been watching LEC now?
I only watch GTU Fnatic basically,
Okay.
and sometimes Origin.
No Vitality?
Actually, yeah, Vitality as well. Yeah, of course. I watch every single Vitality game, and then some GTU Fnatic and sometimes Origin, basically.
What do you think about LEC's level right now?
Same as always. There is the top four, and then there is the other teams. Okay, there is
Who's
the
top
first.
4 for you?
Wait. There is first the. Okay, there is the rank one, this G2,
Yeah.
and then there are the top four after the rank one,
Okay.
and then everyone else is whatever for me.
Okay.
Top four is, I guess, yeah, G2, Fnatic, and then I think right now Misfits is better than OG, but OG will be better at place.
Okay.
So OG Misfits.
Yeah.
Like right now Misfits OG, but after it will be OG Misfits, and then Rogue 5, I guess.
Yeah. I think it's crazy because I think right now we're in a meta. I don't know if it's gonna stay. I don't even know if it's just meta related. Maybe it's just a game at this point. I feel like better draft hard wins. You have a friend coming in. He's scared.
Wait. I'm just doing some.
I feel like better draft hard wins.
Hmm.
I think there is so many mistakes you can do in draft in terms of like what jungler you pick, synergies, in terms of like team composition, in terms of scaling. I think there's so many traps right now. It's unbelievable. And
Yeah,
it
I
feels like
think-
it shifts every week as well in terms of what is OP and the priority.
Yeah.
Because like OG, I think they were like miles ahead of everyone. But then, like they played against Fnatic. Did you see the game against Fnatic? So basically,
The first one, they didn't play 2 times, no?
they played 2 times, yeah. So the first one was when Fnatic like picked Swain into GP, and it was that was just free lose from draft.
The Buipo special.
But then Fnatic, what they did was they just didn't ban a single OP. So OG didn't know that they have to like ban one OP and then trade one for one. They first pick Soraka and give Ornn Aphelios.
Yeah, I remember.
And then they third pick Pantheon. And then it's like, I think if you give Ornn to red side, it's impossible to pick a good mid lane champ. I think it's very hard. Because I think all the blind picks, like if you want to play Zoe, LeBlanc, Syndra, I think you don't want to play this into Ornn. And I think against Ornn, you have to play like Pantheon, Ryze, Cassio.
You know me. Like for me, it's always based on your comfort. Like mid lane meta has always been you can blind anything, and you pick your own scaling, and it's just based on your comfort. There are players that can blind Cassio even with whatever is open because they're just confident they want to go behind. Like if you're confident you can blind kill on mid and then just scale, you can do that as well.
But even now, like globally, you can agree that that Zoe, Syndra, LeBlanc, it's 90% of the players are picking this, right? I'm just speaking like this because obviously I don't want you to reveal anything or whatever. Like,
But Ornn is good pick, and
then the enemy is picking.
most
They pick
items are
Pantheon already.
flexing, so yeah.
And then I think second wave OG they actually banned Cassio because they're looking to just pick Ryze, which I think is a fine idea too. I think if you play into Ornn mid, you have to play to push and play to roam. That's the only way I think you beat it.
If you give Ornn Prio, you lost the game.
Yeah.
Because he will just level 6 bot and you lose. It was The first week of Ornn, it was like that. Like every team is like, I don't even know what the fuck does Ornn do to me.
Yeah.
And then they were dying to silly ganks, and then you get Prio, level 6 bot, and game is
Yeah.
over.
Yeah.
But then like they learned that control mages can push attackers like Lost Chapter and these timers,
Yeah.
and then they don't give Prio so easy. So it's
Yeah.
just you're going for late. But anyway, on this topic, I just think when LPL will be played again,
Yeah.
the meta will shift completely because the LPL is the most crazy region, right? And
Yeah.
we don't have any input on that region right now. And like when they played in January, they were doing like crazy stuff, crazy picks, and I think Corn Pride was not even that big. I think I saw Doimbi playing once. That's it.
I think
I
he
didn't
played.
see any
Did he play
Ornn.
Orn? I think he played Mordekaiser, but no, not Orn.
I actually, yeah, I played Mordekaiser mid. I think
Yeah.
there was no mid yet because the
Yeah.
like I think the thought
It was
process is
only
like
in Kespa.
I cannot, yeah, I cannot win lane with it, so I'm just not picking it. Like
Yeah.
they just don't focus about team fighting. No, they focus about team fighting and stuff, but they care about laning phase way more than other region do.
Yeah.
Like they know the game really starts early game and not you farm for late.
I
They just
really
take every
wanted.
single skirmish possible.
You know what I wanted, Jiizuké? I wanted to
Hmm?
see if top laners could actually play Soraka in LPL. I just, I was saying on broadcast, I was like, I just want a team to pick like Kled Elise, and then you see what happens to the Soraka. Because it's
I mean,
like,
if you watch the Shy stream, like he played so many games against Soraka and he was destroying him. And like I didn't even think Soraka was a good champion after seeing the Shy playing against Soraka.
yeah,
It's like just I think it's when in a meta where no one punish anything, then you can play Soraka. But for me, Wander blinded Soraka because he knows that enemy players will not punish him.
yeah,
I think a good player, and I'm saying the best of the best, will punish you.
yeah,
You can you don't get to have so much freedom in draft. It's
yeah.
impossible. Like I know what I will pick. If I was out of plane, I know what I will pick into Soraka and go 40 aside. Like I can do it.
So
Just
Jace Elise,
no, even 1v1. Like I know like, it's not. You just have to go in and champions and 1v1 as well. You can win.
yeah.
It's not so hard. It's just the mentality that you go on it.
I
And as I
believe it.
said,
I
we
believe
have
it.
we have only an ALCK AU input, and I don't think anyone watches an A, so only AU LCK, I guess.
Yeah.
And and like
It's
you
funny because
see
NA
you see
didn't
people
realize it was
playing.
OP. NA didn't realize it was OP, and then next week they realized, and then it was permabanned.
Yeah.
And then you guys
I,
lost
I,
against Soraka.
I was playing mid Soraka and solo queue, and I was solo killing people. I'm like, how can I solo kill people? I'm not sure. But we lost. We gave CLG their first win. We lost to Soraka. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was too fucking broken. Like I was Orianna. Even if I hit a 3-man shockwave,
No,
they
it
get
doesn't
hit
matter.
up. That didn't matter at all.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was quite broken. But it was a discussion, but we didn't think they would play, honestly.
I think when it comes to Soraka, like always when there's a champion with the global, you do everything to just target it. You kill it, you kill it, you kill it, you kill it. Because like if
Yeah,
Soraka's forced to ult in lane, it's like it's disaster because it's such a big cooldown. But then if you don't
yeah.
fight on Soraka, Soraka will just wins every 2v2 and 3v3 on both sides. So
Same as every global champion.
yeah,
Galio, Soraka, Shen. You just play into a champion and
yeah.
you win that way.
It was cool that they
Always
played
been the
Talia
same thing.
Pantheon.
Where
Fnatic.
they play?
So Fnatic played top lane Pantheon.
Yeah. They
Then
play, but they could have a free matchup on mid, though, no? I know their plan was to play Talia Pantheon into Soraka, but mid they had the Pantheon into Yasuo or something, no?
Pantheon
Or
into
maybe
Rise. I think
Pantheon into Rise. How the fuck the Rise survives? I
Yeah,
think.
yeah, you don't
Like
survive.
I was watching and I know their plan was to dive Soraka, but you can just dive Rise or like just roam into top and dive the Soraka regardless.
I
Like
guess
you have
maybe
a early game comp and you just roam into it regardless.
I think honestly, I think Nemesis is one of the best Ornn mids, if not the best. Plays really good Ornn mid. And Bippo, like in solo queue, apparently he spammed all the way to rank 1 only Pantheon. You know? So I think it was just like a comfort thing. But I see it completely, picking Pantheon into Rise and just stomping in. But it could work the other way too. Like if they stomp Soraka and Pantheon hovers river, Ryze cannot walk up against Ornn Pantheon. So,
yeah. I mean, also if early game doesn't go good, then Ryze will win Pantheon easily, right?
yeah.
It's just a bigger risk, but with a higher reward. Just that.
Yeah, for sure.
That's the playstyle I like.
Yeah. I miss LPL, man. I really do.
Yeah, I think when LPN will be renewed, you could say,
Yeah.
then it will be a different game once again. Everyone will have more ideas. Everyone will see like, oh, you can do this and this. You can play for lane more. Like right now, you see only LCK, and there is very few times where teams play aggro. Yeah, Dragon X is an example. They play for lane hard. Zoe and bot lane. They play hard for lane.
I think Genji play fucking hard early too.
Roder, yeah, the bot lane, yeah.
I think
BD as well.
Clid has had a monster year.
Actually, yeah, jungle is fucking insane.
I think I don't know if you agree, but I think SKT really held Clid back last year.
I can believe it. It's the same discussion you can have for Peanut in SKT.
Yeah.
It was remember Rock's Peanut, and then you watch SKT, and you're like, where the fuck Peanut went?
Because like even
the same player anymore.
Everyone was hyping Clid at Worlds, but I think he did very little as a jungle role. But I think he couldn't do much.
Yeah, it's just
like mechanically insane, for sure. Every team fight he played really, really good, but that's the only thing he was allowed to do. And then now in Genji,
it's LCK playstyle, just that. And some teams like hold back their players, while some teams just want to experiment more. But yeah, for me, like, well, you saw the last 3 years, right? What is good? China and the EU dominated more than Korea did, so it's like.
You think it will continue?
2 years or 3 years?
You think it will continue?
Well, Devon's what's gonna happen with LPL?
Well,
like,
I can share you a little secret. I can share you a little secret. They're gonna play online soon.
Oh wait, it was on Reddit, no?
So basically, they're playing scrims tomorrow live, like scrims, like just mixed teams. I think, or maybe not mixed teams, just scrims. And they're streaming them, and then eventually, I think if nothing gets settled, they're actually gonna play the LPL like online. You know.
With the Cheyenne rookie from Korea, or
I don't know. I have no idea, man. I guess
they set up like somewhere outside.
They accuse the Shy. Someone's playing for him.
Yeah, but yeah, like for me, if G2, I'm not sure what's gonna happen with Capspot.
Yeah, it's not looking too bright right now.
Yeah, I think he's testing the waters. He's testing limits. Like, okay, you have to see Cap's perspective. Like, he hinted so hard in solo queue for 2 years, testing limits, and then he's going on another role and he not test limits. So it's like he's really testing waters right now. He doesn't know exactly what to do. So only time will tell. But if that doesn't tell, then they swap back, and I think they can do it anytime. Like, he has to learn. Perks has to learn only Aphelios and Senna, and I think he played some games already. So it actually doesn't matter. Well, the mid meta is the same.
It's pretty much everything that Perks ever played at the highest level, anyway.
Pretty much the same, or like at
it's like he needs to learn. Like Akali is nerfed to the ground, doesn't need to learn it.
Well, yeah, it's gone regardless.
It's gone, and then Silas is like whatever. It's kind of weird champ.
Yeah, so. Legend they can swap anytime and make it work again. If it doesn't work, at least. Like, I think their maximum that they will go to is like, if they lose the split, then they're gonna swap back.
Yeah.
I think. That's the maximum they will reach.
Yeah. Good prediction.
Yeah. If they lose. But they're G2, so anything can happen. I think we'll see in the next weeks. But yeah, I still think that LPL or I mean, I'm not sure how much this will affect LPL.
Yeah.
What's happening right now? But LPL and the G2 are gonna win again.
Yeah.
And I say LPL and G2 because I don't think you win just LPL and G2.
What do you think about Fnatic?
They are less crazy, no? Compared to last year?
They're more crazy, dude.
They are more crazy?
More crazy. It's like they were the craziest with caps, for sure. But this year they are like, imagine they went from Broxa, who is not crazy at all, to Selfmade, who is quite crazy.
Actually, are they more crazy? I mean, I don't see the same thing that, with Broxa Fnatic without caps,
Yeah.
they will be like, they fight you 4v5 with Nemesis going on side and farming everything possible imaginable,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
just pushing aside and getting towers, getting all enemy jungle, and they have these four that play together that will 4v5 enemy team and gain as much time as possible. Nemesis is funneling himself, and then he goes to the team fight after, and he's fucking huge, and he just gets a pentakill or
This is
something.
just you
But
pressing tab and getting annoyed that enemy mid laners have low
no,
CS.
no. Like Legend Fnatic was like this last year.
Yeah, I
This
remember the
moment,
TF
like,
Garen Yumi games. This was the biggest
yeah,
nightmare.
like fucking Karayumi was zoning us solo in mid.
Yeah.
Like, but anyway, like they had this 4-man squad that was just pressuring the map, and then Nemesis was playing on his own, just farming, unless he was on TF and then he had to group. Even on TF he was not grouping, but
I was
yeah,
playing
like
like TF,
the difference.
Corki.
Yeah, like the difference now is that they play as 5, and Nemesis is not going on side. But I felt like at least against bad teams, it was more pressuring the Nemesis Brox way, with Nemesis on side and 4 men playing together.
Okay.
Because right now they just look like a bad version of G2, in my opinion.
Okay. That's
Just
fair.
that.
That's fair.
But
I,
before it was like as a player it was so hard to play as them because they would abuse your mistakes so much. And like we're like, hey, Nemesis is splitting on side. Okay, we should really force on them. And then we go into Ezreal, Pike. I don't know. Name other 2 champions that are good at kiting. Like it was really hard.
Gragas.
Yeah,
I think
Gragas, Swain, Ezreal, Broom, and then they just pull in off all the time.
I think now with Fnatic, I think they have a higher ceiling than with Broxa. Because like it's not even related to Broxa specifically. I just think like when you change a player, every player has an opportunity to also change themselves somehow.
Yeah.
And I
I
think
mean, that's for sure. Selfmade will fight way more than Broxa, so
yeah,
everyone will play on their limits, mechanical limit way more than
yeah.
before.
I think
So
also like they can
I
actually
can,
have a 2v2 top, a 2v2 mid. Because I think this like I think almost like Fnatic gave up on the idea of trying and they're like, okay, we can win through bot. Because they even
they
beat
will do it
FPX.
only when forced. They will do it only when forced before. But now they can actually, like against us, I remember that if they didn't play mid 2-2, then they would have lost the game in scrim at least. But then on stage they would always play mid 2-2 against us,
Yeah. But then it's
or
like
like a contest upset, But it was like I have to. But right now instead they can, and there is the option.
because I like even the best of 5 against G2 that they played when Broxa was there. It's like I felt like it was very predictable that Jankos could just match on bottom, but also if he ganked top, it was almost always like free. Because Bippo
Yeah.
played as if he had 3 junglers behind him most of the time.
Yeah. 3 junglers.
Because and I think together with Selfmade they have more options to become like more diverse. Because I think G2's strength is that they are very diverse, and I think in terms of picking what's best, they have very little ego. Like for example, Wunder doesn't give a shit. Like he can play Soraka every game, or he can pick Tryndamere if it's meta, and I think that's really big. And I think there's like a respect within the team where they feel like, okay, if I played this and you played this is the best chance of winning, and I can believe in you to do that. And I think with the new Fnatic, I think they can become more diverse and they can play through multiple options. And I think like if you're Fnatic, you're sitting there and thinking, how do we beat G2, right? Because nothing else matters.
That's fair for sure. They have more options now than before.
Yeah.
But they have to improve, in my opinion, because
Yeah, of course.
I think they're just copying someone right now while they're improving. But last year version for me, it's at least for bad teams, is way more scarier because
Yeah.
I would see us as a bad team in Vitality.
Yeah.
So like against them, it was really hard to win.
Yeah.
And I would count a bad team, every single team but G2 in EU. So
Yeah.
every team will be easy with that playstyle to beat everyone pretty much.
Yeah.
But G2. So I mean, even against G2, they pulled it out and it worked because Caps was heavily underperforming in the summer playoffs. Like I remember, it was really Nemesis outperformed him 5 games,
Yeah,
No, actually 4 games, and then last game Caps smurfed.
yeah, the Silas game he smurfed, yeah.
Yeah, but like, I think he was like Caps was. You could see it in his face if you watch preview. He was nervous to play. Like
Yeah,
every,
like they've even
it
said
was
it
the first.
publicly, you know.
Yeah, it was the first time that he played against Fnatic, and I think if it happened in spring, then it would be a preparation. And Fnatic was weaker in spring, but then he faced them in summer. They were the most strong they could have been, Fnatic, and Caps was also first person to fire against his whole team.
Yeah.
So he was just really nervous to play. But
Oh,
with
it's like Perks has said it publicly.
normal Caps, yeah.
It's like he said it publicly many times that it's like it's really, really personal for them, you know. And I get it, you know.
Yeah.
Because like even the game where Caps Caps was walking up to their turret and he got Lee Sin kicked. He was like walking on the turret, you know, super cocky, you know, because it's. I imagine just in the moment it's like really, really heated. It's like the thing that you want to do. I think I'm excited though for what Fnatic will become because like this week they figured out what they wanted to play. They played the Zac top and Orn mid and all that jazz. Then they had the Orn mid again, and they're starting to like this weekend they felt kind of like an unstoppable force, you know.
Yeah.
So I think like the future is very bright. I agree that right now in spring, I don't think anyone is close to the level they should be at. You know, I don't think anyone is close to that. G2, Fnatic, whoever you want to think about. I think Fnatic and G2 will be like rockets, man. They are just going to become better and better. And I think they're going to be like in spring playoffs. I think they're going to be miles ahead of everyone.
Yeah, it will always be G2 and Fnatic being S tier, and then everyone else is like A, B or something.
Yeah, because like even Origin, I think they made monster acquisitions. Like Xerxes and Upset was probably like there was like the best free agents you could get for sure.
Yeah,
but I can't see a world where they're going to beat Fnatic and G2 because I think Fnatic and G2 are just thinking faster. Like, what is the next thing? What is the next thing? What is the next thing? And I think
just their work ethic.
That too. Yeah. I don't think Origin is working less hard, but I think a team with the veteranship of Fnatic and G2, they are working smarter. You know?
Yeah.
Because
Media as a coach has crazy things to do as well. Like I played when I played in Nouns with him, was it last year? Yeah, I played in the season. Like he was doing crazy calls. I'm like, oh, that's something I will do as well. Like really crazy calls that no one believes, and then he's like, just trust me, and we're going all together in that call. So I can see Fnatic being even more crazy with their calls.
Yeah, it's like Mithy. You know, I remember even playing with him. I played with him in season 3, and he was doing like he was diving people. You know, in season 3 it was not common to dive people. It was like you dive people when you're feeling really good about yourself. You know, but it was common. You know, I'm laning top. He's like, okay, I'm coming top. I'm like, oh, really? So I'm coming top. Freeze, relax, yeah. Pretend I'm there. Just pretend I'm there. Fake pressure didn't exist.
Micromanaging.
The word fake pressure didn't exist. He came top. We killed top. I was like, Jesus, he's so fucking good. Then he went mid, dove mid because he got 6, and then he went bot again. And then enemy bot didn't know how to dive bot, you know. But I was like, Jesus, Mithy, you're next level, man. Why don't you play in LCS? And then the next week he joined LCS. Motherfucker. It's like in good times, man. But Mithy is very smart. It's like Perk speaks so highly of him, and like every team that had Mithy, just you saw gameplay wise that the team got smarter, you know.
Yeah, it's only the community that framed them.
Yeah.
But everyone talks good about him. It's the classic. It's the classic.
It's weird though because I think like what we referenced before. I think that there's some players that went to North America and they get put in boxes, you know, and it's like you can see so clearly with Sven. Like Sven was a target for me. I wanted him in off season because I was like, Jesus, the people opinion is crazy. But then C9, you know, they are big brains. They know what they're working with. Because Sven, in terms of how hard he works, he has like the most amount of solo queue games ever, and he's fucking pushing hard. And no one that has ever worked with Sven has had like a negative thing to say about him.
Yeah,
absolute monster. I think he deserves all of that success. And I think that's why I feel ready to coach in North America as well. Because I think Just
Yeah,
not putting your players in boxes is already like a huge advantage that you can have over every other team.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm really happy for Sven. Like, even if I don't know him, like the redemption story for him, at least if it keeps going with Cloud9, it's just a good story to watch. Like TSM went, everything could have that went wrong.
Yeah.
Everything that could have went wrong, and now he's in Cloud9 and it's like just free to do whatever, and he's showing off. So
I think
I like good endings.
yeah, it's just that like he just seems like I played with him in a team for a short time, and even then, you know, it was crazy because this was like I think one of the first pro teams he was ever in. You know, there was like me, Houghton. Do you remember Houghton? He was a mid laner. He was like rank 1 for a very long time.
Read it in Discord. How do you read the name?
Houghton. This name.
Ah, yeah. Irelia, no?
Honestly, I don't remember.
Irelia one trick. Irelia one trick.
I don't know why he played Irelia. I remember him playing mage like a Nivea and shit. Nevertheless, I had a short time with the team and him, and I remember like Zen at the time gave me the same vibes as Mickey gave me. You know, but then like we made a silly decision. We decided to play with Jeebus AD Scary because I don't know why. It was ridiculous, dumbest decision of my life. And then he went to OG, and I can just imagine that with that mentality, he learned super much and became like veteran in a split. You know, like a veteran level player. What do you think about C9? Tell me. Everyone's talking about how well would they do in LEC. I think if they practice in EU, that would fucking help them so much already. I just don't know how much they can actually improve in North America. So that worries me. What do you think about C9?
Well, the only game I had fun, you know my meaning of fun, but the only game I had fun to play on stage like a lot, it was when we played against Cloud9 because they fight a lot. I was like playing a new game on stage, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah, they're just confident and they have a plan going to the early game and they are not absent at all. Like every single game in NA is like you just farm and you play for objectives, and there is not X and Y that you can do before the objective, after the objective. Everyone is playing by the book, and everything is predictable. What is the enemy gonna do?
Yeah.
Cloud9, what screams on stage is just the experiment, and for me, it's the good way to play the game. So, what they will do in AU? Well, that depends because I don't know if it depends if the laners can be better than like Origin.
Because that's what I'm worried about too. Like I don't know the level of laners.
Laning phase is way different. Like they are play like right now. What you see is that Cloud9 plays laning phase and the enemy is backing off. Like they don't contest. It's like no, you can't. You know.
Yeah, they look like the best players in the world, honestly.
Yeah, like it. Basically, us in 2018 were just pushing and jungle is invading.
Yeah.
Same shit. Just they're free to do whatever they want, and if people will contest them, then you see their level. But until then, it's like just a question mark. And for me, it depends only of the rain phase is good, and I know that they won't be better than Fnatic or G2, and maybe not even Origin. So top 4, top 5.
Yeah, I believe it. I
mean, if they beat OG, then top 3 at best, but I don't think they will beat Fnatic or GT.
Yeah. I also agree that with certainty, it's also like what do you compare it to? I think like if a whole spring split and then playoffs, I think 100% Fnatic and G2 are going to end up better. Can they win a best of one? Maybe. Right?
Yeah.
But like in terms of like winning a split, I don't think they would beat G2 and Fnatic. I'm with you there.
Yeah, for sure.
What's interesting to me is I wanted to ask you about Niski because I feel like he almost reinvented himself. You know, I feel like he has accepted his weaknesses and tried to become as doing B as possible. What do you think about Niski?
I think nothing. Like honestly, the only mid laner I'm surprised about in NA is Froggen.
Like level wise.
Yeah, like he plays for lane and he's not scared to make mistakes.
Okay.
And he's the only one in NA
Wow.
besides me.
Okay.
Everyone else is like so passive and just playing with the team. So I don't think anything about Niski, honestly. Doesn't
Okay.
give me any vibe. He's just he's there when the team is good, basically.
Okay.
Just a team fight is a good player,
Yeah.
and he knows what to do, his job, and just using. I think communication is the best aspect of him. He can use his team well.
He's doing timers and shit, you know. He's really
He's
cosplaying
Doinby.
Doinby.
He's Doinby.
It's interesting because like the way I view C9, like I review a lot of their games, and because people like just want to see, they just want me to talk shit about the other team. That's what they want to see. But
YouTube live.
yes, YouTuber life. And what I notice is, I think they keep track of tempo well. They're always on time for objectives. They are playing for the right lanes. They are always the right lane set up. But then there is, as you say, there's no resistance. There's no resistance. Like
So
most of the
giving
time,
up.
there's very little resistance. Like for example, the game against Immortals. I don't know if you watched it.
Yeah, I know.
So that game, they pick Elise last, which is kind of weird to me because I think Seth should win Vladimir, and then enemy has Senna Tam, and I understand that of course in the game it's hard to know what the Senna Tam is going to do, but if you play against Senna Tam and you're Zyrakan, you need to be able to play like super aggro. Like you need your jungler to path in the bot, I think, always. Because Tam is gonna be on the wave, he's gonna be CSing, and if you let Senna Tam harass you under the turret, you're just going to lose. It's lost.
Yeah.
And then always the way you play Zyra Khan lane into Tam is that you need to have enough damage to be able to kill Tam Kench. If you don't, you're going to lose. And that game, Elise is passing into top. He went into Tribush, sits on a ward, and they can't even dive Vladimir. So it's like, what are they doing with their life? And at the same time, Senna and Tam are just harassing bot. They are 15 CS ahead, they base, and then they're trying to gank where Zyra Khan is already 300 HP. And then to me, the game was already over almost.
What was Tam Ken's buy? I don't remember. Was it
Giant's belt? Boom.
Yeah, like how do you kill them?
You can't.
It's
you
over.
can't.
It's over. Yeah.
And then it was like, what's his name? Alltech pulled a caps. He just walked up on the wave because the wave was freezing. Because like the wave was frozen and Hako roamed mid. He died. And then the game was just over. Because Immortals didn't do anything out of the ordinary to try to break the setup or anything. C9 was just better to be on time on objectives and everything else. And every game seems to be like this. It's like the enemy team either doesn't know what to path into, don't know what to play into, don't know how to play early game. C9 get advantage, and then they just take it all the way home because I think macro-wise they are super good.
Yeah, like as I said, I think just they have many liberties right now, and I've never. Well, it's my first month in NA, so I don't know what will happen, but. I know that if we are on the same mentality as them, we can beat them pretty easy, playing phase-wise.
Okay, that's good.
Like we can, it's basically just we can match the players, so I'm not too worried about it. If we are willing to skirmish at the same time as them and just play the game, right? Not skilling for late and stuff.
So how do you feel on AG? Like you're with world champion. That I know it was always exciting for you. Like how has your experience been so far with EG, and how do you feel things are going for you?
Well, the Korean bootcamp went really well. I think everyone was playing really good. We played many good teams. My laning phase was insane. Against some really good midlaner. Then I came to NA and I came to the first week with confidence. Like I wanted to play for lane and stuff, but I lost that confidence in some weeks, and I've gained it back like only in the last 2 weeks that I'm playing for lane now. Well, before I didn't, because every team is like I said already. The 10 is like everyone plays just different from practice, so it's like I'm testing the waters as well. I'm like playing a different game now on stage. So I had to try like what to do with this champion, what to do with this other champion, and like draft is just different. You don't care about AD, AP, mixing damage and stuff. Like I don't know, like yesterday draft you can make an example. Like I'm playing LeBlanc. That is a, as you know, a 2v1 champion, or like a pressure champion. You are not gonna win 1v1 any matchup mostly.
Of course, yeah.
Maybe you can win Kiana, I guess, or I don't know, whatever champion, like melee champions, I guess. But for sure, every other champion you don't win, and you need pressure for your team. And then we are drafting Sejuani that we're not gonna win the 2v2 mid. We have set. I'm not sure if he should have won the lane against Ornn or not.
I think he should win. Yeah, he should win.
Like I know Ornn is broken, so I'm not sure. Even I'm bot. We're getting pushed in, so like the only player that could have helped me that game is maybe top, but if not even, then just like we had double AP plus CC from Brom, and no, did you have Brom?
You had
No,
Braum, you had Ezreal Braum, you picked Braum fourth, I assume, for Ezreal and Ornn, and then you last picked Sejuani.
Yeah, so we're playing double AP with
glacial.
CC Broms, so they have Mercury value, they have everything value, and like just they are maxing MR and it's hard to play. And I don't like, there is no condition for a LeBlanc to snowball or anything.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, I did not want to play LeBlanc that game, so
I think especially like when enemy has Lee and Syndra, I think it makes it giga impossible.
Yeah, like
because I think like
I wanted to pick. I'm not gonna say what, but I wanted to pick something else, and we just went for LeBlanc instead.
Okay.
And it went wrong. LeBlanc Sejuani 2v2 was not so good.
I think like a lot of people ask me about the Syndra LeBlanc matchup, and I think 1v1 Syndra wins. But
if you're gonna custom game and you play 1v1, then I can guarantee 85% of the champions will win LeBlanc.
Yeah, so, like Cassio wins, I think.
Yeah, but just LeBlanc power, why she's stronger as a champion, is just the pressure that the enemy mid have to have against LeBlanc. And if that pressure doesn't exist, then LeBlanc as a champion is not a good champion.
For sure.
And like, I know that at worst, for example, I played against Jensen. I remember the Team Liquid game. No, was it Team Liquid?
C9.
C9. It was in C9. I went 40 side against Agalio with LeBlanc. I don't remember what jungle we have, but we didn't have a win intuitive. But I fake pressure only, and I got 40 side.
Yeah.
Because Jensen was just respecting.
Yeah.
Like I never call kick his mid, but I had 40 CS because he just was nervous to go on the wave because he know he can die if I touch him.
Yeah.
Just that.
I just needed you to say this. I needed you to say this because people always tell me I'm wrong. You know, the randoms in Twitch chat.
I did the mistake yesterday to go on Reddit and watch Twitch chat for the first time, and I was getting shit for everything, and I'm like, yeah, sure.
Yeah, it gets wild that time, man.
I guess I could have 1v9 the game with LeBlanc from behind. Yeah, sure. Like the only thing I could have done better in that game was when when you saw the game when I was behind behind them on Nashor. I was in the banana bush on the pit.
I didn't see. I saw the draft, and then I saw Seth getting solo killed, and I thought the game was over. So,
hello, I lost you.
Hello?
Okay.
Hello?
I was losing you. Like basically, like I solo killed Bjergsen one time. 25 minutes, 30 minutes, but we took 2 towers from it. It was cool. And then the only thing I could have done better was I went on the flank. I went from bot to top, and I managed to go behind the Nashor. I'm flanking them, and they don't know where I am. So but my team fight on mid. They got engaged on, and like I couldn't have a flank position on them anymore. But if they went back to Nashor, then I'm one-shotting Tristan and maybe we win the game. But that's the only thing I could have done better the game. Like there was nothing for me to do because we were scaling for a late game where I'm against
that doesn't
Tristan,
come.
Taric. I can one-shot Syndra if he goes in a bush. Yeah, or I'm gonna chain him, or what do I do? Like it's like just
unplayable.
was
Your champ is just not gonna do anything.
Yeah, and then for the first time in a while, I went to check Reddit and Twitch chat, and it was like, "What is Jiizuké doing? What is?" I'm like, "What should I do exactly?" Like, I'm not even sure. It was and then I went on Double Lift stream today, and he's like,
worse, huh?
just they were flaming him for the Team Liquid loss. He's like, "You could carry this game," and he's like just insulting the viewers on stream. I love it.
Yeah, it's like,
Like,
even
like,
that game.
that's-
Even that game, it's like
He said
you guys
the
first
game
pick
against
Ornn.
us he could have carried. He said the game is against us he could have carried, and then he's like, yeah, would you for sure with our draft with Elise against Ornn Sejuani, I could have carried the game as Ash against Zoe. Like,
I think the draft
AJ
was
League
Giga
draft.
Troll that game. I think
Yeah,
the draft was hard troll. You guys
Yeah.
first pick Ornn, and then they blind pick Tom. You
Yeah,
guys went
it was-
Ezreal Brom, which is okay, like bang Ezreal, whatever. Okay, you do
Yeah,
you, right?
it's really,
But then
really true.
picking Ash into Ezreal Brom Ornn, I think is Giga Troll.
Yeah, for sure. Like, I think, yeah. Anyway, like, it's just sad that people think this way
Yeah.
sometimes.
You guys also.
I mean, you know me. I usually don't go. I don't follow on Twitter. I don't follow on Reddit. I don't see Twitch chat because I'm like, I just don't. I do care, and that's why I don't. And like for the first time in a while, I went, and I'm like, what is happening? Why is the deal like this? Even like, what did the caster say on broadcast? What is going on? And then the dive bot, they were flaming me, and I got the wave. They didn't manage to siege. Like basically, I suicide. How do you call him by the way? I suicided for the wave bot in a divide map situation. I got the wall wave. They cannot siege a tower. We can siege on the other side. I got the wall wave, and I got flamed so fucking hard for it. When he screams, I will do it every single time.
I think
Because
it
just
doesn't
works for
help.
tempo, you know.
You know, I listen to the casters, and
They don't know what is going on. They actually
really
don't
don't know what is going on.
Yeah, like I heard the comms and like what they were saying. I was like, oh, I guess this is a Jiizuké thing.
Like
If you say something like this, then it's actually over, you know. Like
it's like
really
when I hear like everyone's like, oh, Jiizuké, over aggressive. That's all I'm hearing. Mark Z is like, yeah, it seems like 4 players on EG don't want to play aggressive, and Jiizuké wants to play aggressive. And it's like, these are the type of words that are never ever said in a gaming house ever.
Yeah.
It's like, how do you guys want to play? Defensive? Okay, let's play defensive.
Let's play defensive.
It's like it doesn't exist. It doesn't exist. I think if you are functioning at that level, if you're functioning at that level when you're using words like aggressive, defensive, whatever, I think you don't understand League of Legends. I think there is right and wrong, right?
Yeah. Like, you know me, in 2 years, and I didn't see any Twitter. I had zero follow, only following my team.
Yeah.
I didn't see any Reddit, any Twitch chat, and because I was coming to NA, I was like just testing the waters. I was like, okay, I start following back people on Twitter. I watch some Reddit, some Twitch, and then it's like, maybe I'm just removing altogether everything again.
That's
like
better, man.
It's just so useless, honestly.
Like I caught myself, you know, I was reviewing a game on Twitch, and I caught myself getting angry, you know? And I usually don't get angry. Like, you know me, like if I get angry, it was like, you remember when, you know? You remember the one time I got angry. We don't have to bring that up. And I legit got angry because it's like, I had to repeat myself over and over. I was like, guys, LeBlanc blind pick is really good. Maybe. And then people are like, but they can pick Lissandra. I'm like, yeah, they can pick Lissandra with Sejuani and they will have a great game. It's not good. I'm fine answering that once. Then like, we can pick Galio. I'm like, Galio is not good. If you W with LeBlanc and Galio presses W, then E, you have time to always W back. Always time.
Yeah.
Unless he pre-charges it. But if he pre-charges it, it means you're boosted. And it's like, I'm explaining every matchup over and over. And then it's like, but you can pick Poppy mid. Tanks mid are good. I'm like, where are we going with this? And then...
Actually, you know, one point, like, you know me about my... What do I think about LeBlanc? If I think we cannot play as a team LeBlanc, I'm not going to play it.
Yeah.
And this split, I picked it 4 times now. That is why, because I really like my team, and like, I really trust my team.
Yeah.
And like on Reddit, they're saying, yeah, it looks like Jiizuké wants to play LeBlanc because he wants to play on his own.
They don't understand
Like,
the champion at all.
I'm legit never like in Vitality. I played LeBlanc at Worlds and in playoffs because we were working as a team. But
Yeah.
when we didn't work as a team, I never played LeBlanc because he's the worst champion you can play if you want to play as a team.
Yeah.
Like I'd rather play 1v1 stuff. I don't know. I go Syndra and I go 20 said.
Yeah.
But I picked LeBlanc 4 times. Well, one time I didn't know what to pick, but like anyway, I trust my team so much that I'm picking LeBlanc most of the games. Like it's one of my best picks. So.
Yeah. I think some of the early drafts you guys had was good. Like when you had like
Yeah.
Lee Sin LeBlanc. I love Lee Sin LeBlanc. I'm a big fan of Lee Sin LeBlanc. I think it's very strong.
Yeah, it's the best.
I think you just need to pick. Like in terms of the blind picks, I think Syndra and Zoe is good because you're not reliant on jungle. Not as much. And then LeBlanc I think is super good, but you're reliant on jungle. And then I think Ornn conquers all. And then there is a bunch of, like as you said, like own picks. Like wait, I need to open the door. Like my cat is like clawing on the door. Give me 1 second. Sorry. Sorry. Trying to remember what we were talking about. Let's continue on the point about EG. I asked you about EG and we got here. And the comments on Twitter. Who cares about Twitter? Fuck Twitter. Fuck Reddit. Fuck all. So...
How did I came here? What I was saying even?
I think we were talking about the draft. And then we discussed the draft. And then we got here and we talked about LeBlanc.
I was talking about the bootcamp and everything.
Yeah,
and like about myself, just bootcamp until first week was going good for me. Then I lost some confidence in the middle, and then like last week, I'm basically just playing for lane mode now, and like I feel good about scrims again. Before I was like, I fall into the NA meta, just farming for late, even in scrims. I was like going even against whoever mid. I'm just not even trying to trade or anything. Well, now it's like my inner self. My inner self is coming back again. So I'm playing the game more.
Do you feel like
didn't happen this week on stage, but I mean I had only one chance. It was Zoe. And I think I played pretty good though. That's the game. Like we legit took almost every single objective because I one-shotted someone with Q and then they were forced to back off.
Yeah. But that was like
the LeBlanc game.
It was
game
weird.
I could not have done much basically.
This is the Zoe game where you had 5 AP, no? So it took you some time before you were one-shotting people.
Yeah, it was not fun. Like I was roaming all the time.
Yeah.
I was helping the team getting objective, and Jensen was farming mid, farming Wraiths, Wolves, playing his mid. It was like, guys, I see you in 30 minutes. Just survive as much as you can. I'm farming for late, and then I'm like, okay, I have 1 item now. I can do damage. Then I have 2 items. And then I was like one-shotting people finally. But it took some time, yeah. But this is the NA life, I guess.
Yeah. I just want you to play Corki, man. Corki,
yeah.
Let me tell you about the secret Corki build. You go Oblivion Orb after Trinity Force. And then when you have package, you're actually one-shotting people.
Did you see the Immortals game? Eika Corki? Package? Wait, was it Eika? I just remember I saw a Corki one-shotting everyone with package. Like,
I'm trying to find the game, but I don't remember.
The damage was really insane anyway. Like, he did a 5-man package.
It's really insane.
It was a Rakan 4-man ult into Corki package. What the fuck? It does so big damage.
Dude, it does 33% more damage because the duration of the debuff is half a second longer, from 1 second.
And then they take damage from me, from Q, from R, and they're exploding.
Like the Oblivion Orb build is legit, dude. But he didn't go Oblivion Orb. Big mistake. Oblivion Orb. And then it's
I'm just I'm good now so far. I'm testing the waters in NA, and I'd say just lifestyle is way better here, but the playstyling game is just you have to get used to it, and you can have an argument if it's right or wrong to play a determined way. And I mean, for me, I'm more of a U player, LPL kind of playstyle, just fighting and stuff. and I don't know if NA will acquire that or not.
Yeah.
But,
Don't lose yourself, Jiizuké, huh?
yeah,
Don't let them put you in a box.
I won't. It's okay.
Then I'll fly over there, yeah, and I'll stay in your apartment. And I'll have a talk with them. Putting my boy Jiizuké in a box. It's not allowed.
Sure.
I
But
need
yeah,
to.
just
Yeah, yes.
lifestyle in general is way better though.
Okay.
Lifestyle.
Just like the
Food,
level of
weather, the
organization.
sun you can get. You get actually sun here in
Oh, you're
Berlin. I
whiter
think.
than me, man. Are
I
you
never.
go outside?
What?
Are you?
Actually, no.
Maybe it's the
I'm not
camera.
sure. Maybe it's the camera.
Maybe it's the camera.
but like
It's
you
pretty
just
dark in your room.
you just feel good mostly. Just the
Yeah.
weather and everything. And EU will be like, yeah, just cloudy and you'll never see
Gray.
the sun ever again. Gray and just fucking sad all the time.
Yeah, that must feel
And,
amazing, right?
the
Especially
food-
since you have such an early schedule. So you just
Yeah,
like you wake up to the
yeah.
sun.
Yeah, I also walk to the office, so I'm like, I see the sun every day, basically.
Get the
And, like,
coffee and
Yeah, and yeah, food is way better. So like conditions are way better. So it's fucking weird that just we're worse than everyone else.
yeah.
That's really weird because
Why do you think that is then? Why do you think that is?
are solo queue.
Solo queue? Tell me about the solo queue experience.
I mean, I do have the most solo queue in my team. Like I did not give up on it yet.
Yeah.
I played the.
You're challenger, right?
Yeah, of course. I played 260 games so far.
Holy. More
And
than me,
it's like,
Jiizuké.
I mean, I did not play much as well. Like I think I played 260 games, and I don't think they're a lot. Like I played maybe I guess
I'm
this
at 250.
This is like 30, 40 games a week or something. Overall.
Yeah, that's a decent amount.
Yeah, but anyway, like the things you cannot do on 60 ping, like it's just there are way too many. You cannot play on limits, so I can understand why people are just not focusing on limits and stuff in both scrims and stage because they cannot practice anywhere else, and everyone is scared to win on scrims. They're fucking scared so hard, like they will. There are some players that do not make mistakes in scrims either, so there is like they don't even try anything in scrims.
Okay.
It's
do you think that's just a coaching mentality? They're trying to copy Korea too much?
I think. I mean, I don't know. Maybe they're scared of losing their job or something. They don't want to enter scrims because of that.
I think it ties into the earlier discussion with putting people in boxes and.
Yeah, but also that, yeah, for sure. It's just a combination of things.
Yeah. So the solo queue in terms of so the ping is an issue. Do you think like the wannabe streamers and the streamers and higher elo and the culture? Do you think that's a problem in solo queue?
If I thought you players were playing for fun and I would like really see playing in you, NA is even like worse. Like I think no one has an aspiration to go in any solo queue.
Everyone wants to be a streamer.
Like you either are facing pro players or you're facing streamers, or you're facing someone that doesn't give a shit about being Aguila.
Yeah, like a Teemo mid lane,
yeah,
support
like
Roma.
whatever. Really, like there are some games I'm playing normal game or ranked. Like
I feel you.
If I thought you had the very low knowledge compared to Korea in solo queue, like on macro and everything, ANA is even worse. But it's fine. Like I just practice champions. I don't mind too much. I just do my best for myself, what I think is best for my practice, and that's it.
I wanted to finish the EG point. Just a simple question. Where do you see the trajectory? Like you guys are right now, like in the middle of the pack somewhere. It's quite close to race. Besides C9, I think that the points are rather close. What do you see yourself at the end of the split? What do you hope to accomplish? What do you think you guys are capable of?
I mean, I always hope to win, I guess.
Okay.
It's a pro player mentality. But, I think close will reach for sure, and then based on what level we're gonna reach. It's top 8?
Top 8 goes playoffs in NA, yeah.
What the fuck? Is playoffs free or what? Wait, who are the last two teams? CLG and so CLG. Playoffs is already set or what? CLG and some other team is like last place. So, yeah, players are already reset apparently. Wait, they're not even set if their teams eventually LG can come back.
Yeah.
What?
If they're picking
What
off
is?
Soraka, and well done
Wait,
meditates with them.
wait. I didn't even realize. But yeah, just
Maybe I'm
I
wrong.
think it.
Like maybe I'm wrong. I
I think
remember reading it.
no, 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 no. It's like that actually. Yeah, I remember as well.
Okay.
But actually, it's so fucking dark in here.
Put on a light, Jiizuké. I was gonna check on my cats. Meanwhile, Jiizuké, I love you. You'll never know. Hey, Jiizuké.
Sorry, there is light now.
Nice.
Uh,
Now you
but
look
I think-
tan. Now you look tan.
Yeah, but I think it's just based on what level we're gonna reach.
Okay.
Like for sure, we're gonna take more wins now
Mm-hmm.
in the second half because we were just we know the mistakes we made in the recent games. And
Yeah,
like
yeah.
some games where like I felt we needed to lose only one game maybe in the whole like against Dignitas I think.
Mm-hmm.
And against Cloud9 because we only 2 games. Like we should have been like something like 8-2 legit.
Okay.
7-2. But like everything could have went wrong, so we are in this score now. And so I see us just improving and winning way more and just gaining confidence over those wins. And then if we upgrade like our level as well, like to the next step, then we're in a good spot to contest for like top 3, yeah, and just finals and whatever it is.
I'm glad to hear that because I think in the situation, the state of the league is, I see if I was in a team, I would see it as like a really great opportunity because the level is clearly not good, and I think there are some simple things that can be done in terms of like preparation, draft wise, and I think even in like I think there is opportunity in finding Cloud9 in the position where they are slipping. You know, I think that I think it's hard for me to imagine they will go 18-0, but it's very possible, right? I think
they won't.
I think it's just the deeper you go, the worse you play. I think.
I think they won't. Even against us, if we didn't give them the game, they will not have won.
Yeah.
Like they looked really nervous, like everywhere. If you watch preview of like every single lane.
Yeah.
So it's like, and then they almost lost. They never almost lost, but they always are ahead. So like it's easy to see the game from their point of view. They've never been behind so far.
Well, it was the game against TSM, right, where Renekton gets double kill. But then I don't know if you watched this. Like so, TSM versus C9, Bjergsen and like Blabber forces 2v2. Kiana Elise versus I think Gragas Renekton. Renekton has full prior, full rage.
Yeah.
And then Kiana is so far away that she needs to flash EQ. And Renekton gets double kill. And Kiana burns flash. Renekton can push in and he can keep TP.
Yeah.
So he has TP advantage and the wave bounced.
That's the game they could have snowballed out, but they didn't.
Yeah, because did you see what he was doing?
It was free win.
Bjergsen was just pushing the wave in. Queuing the wave, pushing the wave in, Kiana was catching.
It's the same thing he did yesterday to me. Like, for me, it was he's either playing for lane phase or he's playing to dive bot. He did not do either. He just was in fog. Just he took only one plate in mid with the pressure of 3 men. That's how much he needed.
Yeah.
And he never went to dive bot or to pressure me mid. Like he was just playing super passive. So like they don't have the concept to dive somewhere or playing for lane harder, you know?
Which is really strange to me because TSM always seem to be like first 5 minutes they seem to always get ahead. Like Dardock finds a kill, they find a gank.
It's Dardock and Broken Blade almost mostly. I think.
Yeah.
Like Broken Blade is just good mechanically and he mostly solo kills other top laner or win lane phase hard. And Dardock is ganking everywhere early game, either to secure bot or to secure mid or to win top lane. So it's like mostly they're red, but even there you saw like I don't know, the Deans no more because they don't know how to. And for me it goes to the point that in scrims they don't try enough. It's just the mentality. Like I know the scrims in you they look like fucking crazy. There are 40 kills.
Renekton is 15-0 this game. Maybe 15-2. He gets like a triple kill and dies. You know?
Yeah, like just lack of fantasy or lack of
But it's not
experimentation.
even that much fantasy, right? Because if I tell you, okay, Jiizuké, you're ahead, freeze the wave, and then when Gragas is ready, you build the wave, and then you dive and you one-shot Kiana. It's not that
Yeah.
much fantasy, right? It's like, how Kiana's out of the game. How do we keep her out of the game? But instead, for 10 minutes, nothing happened. Kiana was catching waves, and then eventually Kiana was like, fuck it, I'll just roam bot. And she
I
got
mean,
double kill.
I don't want to be mean, but I felt like legit when we were playing with Gilius in spring, and they will tell me, "Can you just push the wave?" And then when we go to review it, it's like, I thought pushing the wave was good for you, but it's like I'm not just pushing to just push, you know. I'm
Yeah,
either building a wave and diving mid, or I'm building a wave to dive bot. But I'm not just pushing every single wave and
yeah,
see what happens. The game is not like that. You either
yeah,
freeze or you build a wave and you do something with it. But
yeah.
it's like there is not this concept doesn't exist in some teams.
It's crazy. It's crazy. But even in EU, some teams don't have this concept, right? Because it's
Yeah,
like, for me, I always, like every team that I've ever worked with, I always wanted to make sure that 2v2 mid is the most important thing. I think you notice
yeah,
very fast. Like,
yeah.
mid 2v2 is most important.
I was happy about that
Because, like, if.
because in Giants it was like it was not a thing we did at all.
And
We
then,
were mostly playing bot, I guess, in
yeah.
Giants.
And then it should, like, reach a point where you pressure enemy mid lane hard enough that the jungler has to come. And then when the point
Yeah,
the jungler and mid lane is catching the wave together, that's when you pressure into side and you take over everything. Alright?
yeah,
Because I think ideally, whenever you pressure both top mid, you have to pressure hard enough for jungle to come or hard enough for the jungle to regret to not come. You know?
yeah. I mean, the game right now is legit OFPX plays, in my opinion at least.
Yeah.
If you have that trio going in, playing together, then you'll win every single game.
Yeah.
But it's just you have to put that mentality into every player, I think.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I'm really embarrassed of what happened yesterday. For example, like I I can't believe two teams are just doing nothing. Like I didn't even know what was going on stage. I'm like, I'm playing LeBlanc, I cannot do anything, and both teams are doing nothing. But we're trading a Drake Frel. That's what we did all, and then trade tower for tower, and
Yeah.
then it's gentleman agreement. We don't do shit in this game. We're just trading. Yeah, just you take this, I take this. It's okay. Okay, nice. But they should have taken everything possible imaginable. But they just trade with us for some reason.
Yeah, that game,
Like
heavy early game favor. Like, you both burnt summoners level 1.
they have winning bot, winning mid, winning jungle, and top. I have no idea. So
Yeah.
it's like the options they can do, the invades they can do anything they fucking want,
Yeah.
anything, and they lean to Sejuani. I think early game. I'm not sure if you can invade.
La Liga can for sure
Probably
invade
can.
you.
No?
I think if you can fight long, then you win. Like,
It's Conqueror, so I mean,
yeah,
basically Conqueror wins
yeah.
everything long fight, so I
It's
guess you
like
can.
Sejuani, the way you always had to play it was like you hope that you have Renekton or like Camille mid or something, and then you took over river by hovering behind, right? Because if you rush river
Yeah.
first, you would lose most of the time. And this is how you would win, right? But it's like, what's he gonna do? Like, the only option for Sejuani was to go through top because Sejuani actually like is decent because you
Yeah.
apply passive like instant, almost.
Yeah.
But other than that,
But
it's like,
regardless to end this topic, I'm like, I hope people just wake up in.
yeah,
It's like, if the level stays like this, then I mean, I can see why they will never win an international event. It's like they're still following LCK, like they're just following a playstyle that they cannot be the best at. What's the point in that? I
yeah.
don't see it.
But
Like
but even you know,
even LEC, you cannot say that they're second LPL. They have their own playstyle.
yeah,
They are like they do crazy things, but in their own way. You can see it when there is EU against China playing us against RNG or G2 against FPX. You can see both ways. Sometimes like there are weaknesses and strengths in both ways.
for
I'm
sure,
like,
I'm with you.
but yeah, if there is any against LCK, yeah, I see LCK winning 100 times out of 100.
Yeah,
Let's say SKT against Cloud9. I think maybe Cloud9. No, better laners. No way. Better joke. I think they will lose every time.
Just to not get carried away, I want to talk to you about LCK as well, but just to focus on any point, because I noticed we we're used to talking together, and then we don't give a shit, you know. But people are gonna watch this, and I'm gonna try to make timestamps,
Oh,
and it's
it's
gonna
2 hours and 20. Oh.
no. Honestly, I don't care. For me, this is 2 hours. It was
I
5 minutes here. It was like 5 minutes,
didn't
honestly.
realize, honestly.
I wanted to talk about.
It's to the good old times.
Wait, I don't hear you too well. Your microphone is going cocktail.
I said it's the good old times. Talking forever, I'm not even realizing.
Oh, it's just I wanted to ask you. So we spoke about TSM, and Björksen. Your opinion is like to summarize it, because I feel like we have a very similar ideas that I think.
Like, it's just just a solid player, I'd say, but it's nothing. Like I said, only Froggen really surprised me.
Okay.
He's like just playing for lane, both in practice and on stage,
Yeah.
and like he does his thing, and then everyone else is like, yeah, let's wait for the team fight to happen and play for objective and stuff. But there is not anything crazy going on. It's
Yeah.
like they're either waiting for their junglers to help them, or they're waiting for the objective and they play as 5 and they're playing the team fight. That's it. So
I'm
I
with
mean,
you.
maybe it's too early as well to judge, but for now, that's the opinion I have on other midlaners.
I'm very surprised, honestly, because I think like the reason I'm thinking about Björksen the most because I think mechanically he's good, but I think in terms of like managing wave or like building an idea or like sometimes it's hard to know who to blame, right? Because we don't know if it's jungle or whoever. But I think most of the time here I would point to the laner because even the way I think
Yeah.
the way he played the Renekton lane is like the prime
I mean,
example.
I'm disappointed as well. Like watching the trainer game and yesterday games against me, I'm like, why is he not 1v9 in the game? You know,
It's
like he can do whatever he wants. He can choose, and
it
he
just
just
seems
did nothing. Like
like
for me, it's just I'm disappointed because I know what was his level before.
yeah.
Like I used to watch like Faker and Bjergsen were the two midlaners was the most, I guess. Perks? No, I was watching mostly Bjergsen and Faker and Caps, I guess.
Yeah.
But it's like just to watch streams because I like to watch VODs and I feel
Yeah.
like I can get way more than other people can from it. But just I watched a lot and then everyone talks about Bjergsen leadership skills, but I don't feel like he has any right now. At least he doesn't do much.
That's fair.
Unless the comps are dominated by him, but not in early game for sure.
That's fair. I think yeah, it's surprising. I feel like the mid lane meta is like pick a champion that when he reaches Lost Chapter, just throw your spells on the wave and then just handshake on it. You know,
Not Lost Chapter, just one of them.
one item even. I just think
Yeah.
Lost Chapter because of the mana. You just like you
Yeah.
Syndra, you throw Q W E
Okay.
and
Just
you
to
one shot
push,
the wave. You know,
yeah.
just the push.
Yeah.
It just seems like it seems unexciting, and I feel it's weird. It's really weird. Because like that type of mid lane game, I can play that mid lane game. You know, a lot of players can play that mid lane game. So I feel like a lot of mid laners are getting away with murder.
Yeah.
You know,
They like you don't really see some mid laner strength because they are not playing laning phase. They're getting away with so much. Like,
yeah.
but then in scrims you know what's going on. Like you actually know what's going on in scrims. And you know who is like really garbage at laning phase and who is not. Like
You wanna spill the dirt or no?
no, I'm fine. But I know I'm up there. So
Okay, then let's do this. Let's talk positive. What is your top 5?
top 5.
Yeah. You don't need
I
to include
mean,
yourself if you don't want to. Would you put Froggen first?
I cannot even like I don't have like they don't
They don't show you enough.
they don't play at all. Like in scrims, he's actually like so absent. Like he's like.
So no one deserves to be in your top 5.
Like it's like yeah, I guess just like you could say based on the scoreboard. We'll put Froggen just because I think he impressed me, and then you put based on the score you put Niski, Power of Evil, and Bjergsen because they're the top 4. But that's it. And then Jensen.
Okay. Do you think
So
Power of Evil is full NA now as well?
I think because of Ignar he's playing better.
Yeah.
Ignar, Ignar plays a lot. So.
Igna's smurfing, honestly. I think
like
he's
roaming and
1v9ing on that team, man.
I think he can do way more because of Ignar now. And Ignar is bringing the EU play, is the crazy playstyle to NA as well. So I'm happy there is someone that can show something as well.
Yeah.
Not only a mid laner that is crazy, but also support that is crazy. Yeah, you always think, okay, Ingrid is on the flank. Okay, be careful, guys. He's on the flank. He's somewhere. Just you don't see him, but he's somewhere.
Yeah, that's the good level of a support. When he's in fog, he's not in fog. He's in everyone's head.
Yeah.
Like Hilly-sang or some shit.
Yeah.
It's the good stuff. Okay. Maybe one day NA will be saved, Jiizuké. Maybe one day.
Yeah, we'll see. This MSI. If we reach our level and we go MSI, then I'm gonna. No, actually, I'm not confident enough. It depends if any as a region grows or not. We'll see.
Okay. I always wish that they do the same thing as in China. Like they just launch like a high tier server, meaning like a Diamond Plus or a Master Plus server, and they just base it in California. And then
Double if there is the player association here, and Double if the ideas that is shared, and I think it reached out as well. Okay. I hope it will be like a thing because I think Solog is one of the main problems, like for sure.
Yeah.
Like it's like you're lagging legit. Like I did in Italy, I did make Challenger top 50, 150 ping, but it was a long time ago, and I was not a pro player, and I did not need to practice limits. It's doable, and you can, but it's just not good practice.
Yeah. No, I'm with you. No, that makes a lot of sense actually. Like just it's just that it's funny because my girlfriend, like Arena, played a tournament in Dubai, and
the 150 ping, no?
They played 150 ping because they played on EU West tournament realm, and then Jiizuké on first day they played on 10.2, on the second day they played on 10.3. Can you fucking believe it?
Whatever.
And imagine, Jiizuké, there was a Korean team there, okay? There's a Korean team.
They're used to temping.
There was a Korean team there who had a Diamond 1, Lee Sin 1 trick, and an Ezreal 1 trick. They come from 7 ping to play 150 ping.
Hey, I'm gonna insect this guy and didn't work out. He flashed. He countered my Q. When he saw the Q, he flashed away, so he will not insect.
No, they didn't even have the balls to pick it. It's like my girlfriend's team, they won against them because we first picked Soraka, so we were very smart. Draft Kingdom. And then they just got tilted off the planet after that. It's funny because it's the second time I tilt them off the planet. The first time they faced them, the only thing that my girlfriend's team were practicing all the way to the tournament was funnel. So they play funnel against them, and then they panicked and started to play funnel as well. And then they first time funnel on stage. And then they just lost the tournament. But anyway, this was a segue from the ping talk.
What's next? What are you gonna give them next?
Honestly,
third draft.
I don't know.
Has to be something. Otherwise, you cannot win against the Koreans.
It's
you need to give something.
I'll have to wait until the time comes, man. I have to think of something cocktail. Maybe bring back funnel or
story crafting.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll think of something.
Cartus Grace.
Holy, no one will ever know those secrets until we pull it off.
Actually, I can't believe we talked for like 5 hours or something. And
5 hours, dude. That was like whole week.
Okay, it was first all week, but then it was before the day I talked with Mowgli for like 2 hours, 3 hours.
Yeah.
And then we talk to a team like all together. We explore every single scenario, and then we do so fucking bad on stage. Like I cannot believe
it couldn't
like,
be worse.
How could they go so wrong? Like it was in my head, everything was in my head, and I explained what was in my head, and Mowgli as well, and it's like everything went wrong.
Like we fucked up the first thing. You remember when you had to go through the bush and then take something and bring it?
And then they were getting poked by Kitty Morgana, and then we went, and then we Cabo stayed on mid even with Gnar. Well, you know, Italy accent. Gnar. He was like coming to us and just was still pushing mid because he did not know that what was going on.
Yeah, it was
and so it was 4v5, but we were poked 12 HP. He's like, whatever, just go next.
I wanted to ask you, are you watching all LCK games? You watched all LCK games, right? You always do. So what do you think of the level of LCK? Because right now, my opinion is, I think the level of T1, Genji, DRX is better than any other team in the world. That's counting out LPL, of course.
Wait, you're missing someone, I think.
Am I? I think Africa and Hanwha Life is maybe below them.
Actually, Africa is... I love that bot lane, Africa. I really love Africa bot lane. They do the most crazy shit. The Ashe Rumble, they look so insane when they play it. Well, that one I actually don't know because Nuguri lost his Colette stuff.
Yeah. He's still playing good though. He's still playing good. I think he's playing good, yeah.
But yeah, I do agree with that statement. I will put fourth Africa or Damwon. But yeah, those three teams are insane.
Because if you made a power ranking for the top teams in the world, I would easily right now, if there was worlds right now, I put Genji. Like I would put top 4
honestly,
Korean
you
team
cannot
over
do
everyone.
because like you will put T1 and Dragon X for sure. Genji, I don't know, but because we don't know the level of LPL. Like you have to put GT Fnatic.
Without LPL. Like we don't count LPL at all.
And then well, you put GT Fnatic and then you put T1 Genji. Well, every single team in LCK. Like T1 Genji, Dragon X, Damwon, Africa, and GT Fnatic. And GT Fnatic.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
And then C9 maybe?
Nah, the gap is huge.
Okay. That's fine. Honestly, I'm in love with Genji because I think the issue with Korea that I've noticed is when teams are behind, they stay behind. Because I don't think they ever... I think one side of it is that teams are very disciplined in the way they play. And the other side of it is that they're not using a fog of war. They're not trying to cut any rotation. They're trying to wait for something that doesn't come. And that's the thing that frustrates me the most about the LCK. But in terms of early game, when I watch Dragon X and Genji, I think it's super insane. Like the things that Clit do and the things that DRX do in early game, I think is better than any team all over the world, except outside of LPL, of course.
Yeah.
What is your judgment?
Just like overall, you mean about LCK?
Yeah. Like what stands out to you with LCK? Like what do you think about, let's say, Genji? Let's start there.
Like I'm surprised they play for lane so much. Like Genji, Dragon X, T1 even. I think T1 still have insane T2 mid. And like they're snowballing from that. Or
I
like
think Haru is super good.
Kanna is making a super play somewhere. Or Teddy is going to late game and 1v9. Actually, T1 is the least they play laning phase, I guess. But Genji and Dragon X are fucking insane. Like, it just... you see Deft and you're like, why this guy... Actually, he came from LPL, so I can understand. Yeah, he came from LPL, so I can understand why he's playing like that.
Also, he played in KT, right?
Yeah.
Like he played in KT with Smeb, and then he played with... what team was it? But he played with Pawn. You remember? and they took SKT to 5 games.
King's on Dragon X, huh?
Was it King's Zone as well? Maybe it was.
Yeah, it was in King's Zone.
I just remember he played with Tusin and Pawn.
King's Zone, Tusin.
They almost beat SKT in best of 5.
Yeah, they were really good. They were like they did the Dream. They were from the bottom and they went all the way top. Yeah, the Miracle Run almost. But yeah, like with it's so weird to do lists because there is no IPL, honestly.
Yeah,
because I believe there are like four or five teams from IPL that are like just insane, and like when those come back, then it's like you don't even know if Korea is better or G2 are better.
Yeah,
you know.
That's why like we count completely Korea. I mean LPL out of the list. T1, what do you think about Faker's level right now?
He's struggling a bit sometimes.
Okay.
I feel like, but I don't know. I saw like the one of the last games he played. I don't remember against who it was, but he blocked the Rakan flank. They had like they were playing against a set Rakan, and I can't remember the mid pick. Maybe Ziggs, but they had a 4-man set into Rakan 4-man. Faker blocked the Rakan, and they could have an ace right there, but Faker pretty much solo carried that one with Ornn. I think actually Faker is the best Ornn. It's not Nemesis.
Yeah,
Faker
I
is
meant
for
like
sure the best Ornn.
when I talked about best Ornn, it was Europe only.
Okay,
just to clarify, yeah.
Faker is for sure best Ornn I've ever seen.
I think like, Chovy is also crazy Ornn. Like just from our remembering in Casper Cup how fucking good he played it. But that was also like one of the first times I saw Ornn mid, and I was like, Jesus, okay, this is for real. I think they played against Dragon X, the game you're talking about.
Yeah, Dragon X.
Yeah.
But it was like, some games like that where he does like insane outplay. But even else, like the T1 games are like all it's about. It's standard LCK, just playing for objective, and there is a team fight, pretty much.
I think they also draft heavily for it, and then I think they use.
Yeah.
Like I agree that it's very standard. I think it's standard SKT almost. Like where they just play to neutralize most lanes, meaning like jungle plays to secure things, to make things as safe as possible, and then they reach a point where their draft, like with Rumble and whatever else they're picking, just fight around Drakes and then just snowball from there. But the only thing that I'm worried about with LCK is I am not too impressed by their top laners. In contrast to the top laners in the other teams.
Yeah, I mean they have Kana, they have Doran, right? Like one of the two best teams have Kana and Doran. It's like they're rookies and they're still learning, right? So I think they will be good. They will be good, but for now they're like just learning, right?
Yeah, like Doran, I think I've seen more from Doran than Kana. But at the same time, like if there was ever a top laner that worked with, like by far, Coach Kim worked with the best top laners in the world by far. He worked with Khan, he worked with the Shy, and
Who's
then
Coach Kim. The Damwon coach, right?
Yeah, and that's like crazy in itself. And did he work with Smeb? I'm trying to remember if he worked with Smeb.
Actually, he's in SKT now.
He's in SKT. He's SKT. So I think like if Kana is gonna become good, I think he has best chances here. You know.
Yeah, he has knowledge.
Yeah.
He's not gonna hold him back. He's so shy.
Or he had no knowledge, and he was like, "My top lane is so fucking good. I don't need to teach him anything."
Maybe.
Because that can happen, you know. That's like, as a coach, that's a dream, you know. When you have like a player, you ask him, you know this, okay, perfect, good. What do you want to play? Here, play. The Shy one will play? Yeah. Okay. Look at it, man. Oh, Nuguri. He worked with Nuguri. I forgot. Nuguri.
Oh, yeah.
Khan, Nuguri, not Smeb, actually. Maybe Smeb. Longzhu was with Khan, actually. No, it was with Khan. Longzhu was Khan. Yeah, it was Khan.
After that year, they split, and then he went on.
Yeah. And this was the split they actually won. So Coach Kim won with Longzhu. They beat SKT in the final, I think.
Well, he has a career, this guy. Actually.
Yeah. And then he went to IG, won Worlds, and then he went with Damwon and went to Worlds.
Yeah,
It's
it's insane.
crazy. And now he's in
Is
SKT.
it time for SKT to shine again, or?
Yeah, honestly, I think SKT look really good. I feel like
I
this is a
mean,
team that's super hard to
when you
beat.
look at SKT, they are the LCK, so
Yeah,
you are gonna expect standard LCK playstyle, but like the top level of LCK, right?
yeah,
So like that's the only team that you can see and like yeah, you should play LCK style.
yeah,
That's the only team I would want to say.
yeah, yeah. I'm most
And
excited though for teams. I think Genji, Dragon X, these are the type of teams that can compete against LPL if they take shape. I think
yeah,
because even in the games that we saw from LPL, like I sometimes look back at those games. You know?
I think Dragon X even can be rank one, honestly.
Yeah.
Like compared to, and like they can contest LPL really easy. I think.
I think just because
Because
of the
like
wins.
their laners are really good and
Yeah.
the jungler as well. Like the Piosik, that guy is like, what the fuck am I
Where the
watching?
fuck did
Is
this
like,
guy come from, man?
I have no idea, but it's so insane. Like, it's actually insane. The fucking CV Max just finds these people.
Yeah,
Doran,
CV Max, I'm also really
Piosik.
hyped for. I
Yeah.
just think it's easy to look at some of these teams and like T1, Genji, Dragon X, like player quality is super good and also coach quality is really insane. It's like you
Yeah.
have Coach Edgar, which is fucking two-time world champion on
Yeah.
Genji, and then you have Coach Kim on T1, and then fucking CV Max. And I think CV Max is a big smurf. I think he's
Yeah.
like the whole Griffin shit. Fuck that, you know?
I
That's not his
mean,
fault at all.
as a pro player, I don't really care.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I can understand the community cares a lot about it, but it's like, if you know his achievements and like what he did with players, then it's like you just see a good coach. Like, and I played with so many Korean coaches that I understand like what the points is word at. Like, then I've been aggravated myself by a
But
Korean
this
coach.
is
But
this
it's
is
like,
everything. Everything in
like
Korean culture is like this, right?
yeah, like
And
Korean culture is like this. Like you can't like no one, every team has done it, and no teams like you just watch Eyes on Words 2017. Always Komato Quintune, just watch. It's like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
okay, so the scenario is they picked GP into Shen, but they wanted to ban Shen from the beginning. Shen was broken, and they give enemy Shen and Unias GP is counter pick. They can win laning phase hard and everything. He fucking ins for his life. He goes 0-3. He fucking loses the game alone. And then after the game comes like, we tried GP to Shen, right? You fucked up, right? So we should never let Shen open again, right? And this is your fault, right? Like it was like pressuring him mentally, you know. Like I know some Korean, so I know exactly like even if it's translated that way, I know like what he's actually saying,
Yeah, yeah.
and I'm like, it's hilarious to watch, and he doesn't even react. It's like that's all they're used to, you know.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah.
like he was so fucking harsh, like to European NA standpoint, and he's like you just watch and like everyone is used to that already. So like I don't even know what's the drama about. Like
For sure. Yeah, yeah. I just think
unless
it's
he actually killed him with punches and like he went on sword and just went all in. I'm not sure.
it just
Like
seems
mental, like the mental approach that Korean coaches take is nothing new to me.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
My first team I played with. My first coach was the now sandbox coach, and my second coach is the now Epic E Prince coach. So like it's not. I mean, they didn't have good. Honestly, they didn't have good English, and we didn't have a translator, so I could not learn much.
Yeah, yeah.
But like my two Korean players that I had, they said that they were good. But for like the English people that were there, we could not learn much. But still, like I know like all the approach, like the mental part, like of are they aggressive and whatnot.
Yeah, yeah.
It's just the way the Korean a Korean coach is and how they keep going like that.
Yeah, yeah. No, no, no. For sure. That's why, like, I think there is a special like that's why I'm putting so much emphasis. Like, I'm trying to think even though it's very difficult to speculate what coaches do and can't do or are actually doing, like a track record still speaks for itself, right? And I think in terms of what CV Max and Coach Kim got out of the teams, usually they were teams that were thinking outside of the box in some shape or form. And I think usually it's like there are the basics, and then there is something that puts your players outside the box that makes you unique most of the time.
Yeah.
And I think
But to summarize, to me, Sword just wanted a scapegoat to not or Tisigo basically. He was like, he benched me for this, and this, and he wanted to make his argument more valuable, and he said like other stuff. But it's like he just got benched and Isigo was hurt, and he just wanted to play in the main team, and he did everything he could to. Actually, maybe don't put this. Let's not put this.
You want me to cut it?
Let's not put this. I think.
Yeah, I can cut it.
I don't want to take sides. Let's go next.
I don't think it's controversial at all, though. Like, I think what Sword did, like, I'm with you. Like, I think it's like, pretty weak.
Yeah, I think it's just he really like his ego was hurt, and like because I saw in an interview that CV Max said I did not know about this. Like I did not know he was feeling this way towards me, and that he hated me. Even he was like, for me, it was the best decision for the team. And he's like, his arguments were valid for me. And
I just think like, it's very clear when a person doesn't lie, and CV Max was consistent in everything that he said, you know. And it seems like Sword and Tazon are super close, right?
Yeah, and that's why they sit together as well.
Yeah.
In the team, like it was really biased, the whole conversation, you know. And like you can see then it was divided. It was like 3 players, and actually Viper stayed, but he did not take a side. He did not take a side, but they and Sanchovi and Doran and CV Max left. So.
No, I think it's it's strange, but I guess we are in different times now. Like I think I'm with you with Dragon X that I think this is the type of team. Like in their victories, they look like really, really insane. Like even when they played against Genji, when I think it was Genji. Was it Chovy that played Zoe into Pantheon? Or was it the other way around?
Sorry.
And every lane was just like 20 CS ahead. It was like 20 CS ahead very fast. It was like, whoa, okay. And then it just won. They just had 1k gold lead without anything happening. I was like, what the fuck? And I'm with you. Like, this is the type of team that is going to go fucking far.
Yeah, it's the thing that impressed me the most. Dragon X.
It's because like
T1, I know what I expect from T1, but Dragon X is like everyone is so good, and then Genji is like the ruler is so fucking insane. Like ruler and BDD in the same team.
I think BDD has crazy form. I think he loves this fucking LCK meta as well, fucking locking in Zoe. I think he started it.
Yeah, maybe.
Watch everyone start locking in Fizz. I think Fizz is a really OP dude. Honestly.
People what, the play Fizz?
I think Fizz, no? I think
only Chovy only, no? Against Orianna.
I think the Fizzes are coming. For sure.
Fizzes are coming. But in tank meta is weird to play.
Yeah, but when Ornn is banned, what is tank meta?
Yeah, like, but if they have a front line at all, your fish is gonna be parried, by the way. By the tanks, so you are actually...
It's more about, like... What?
Nothing.
It's like you need to be... Of course, with Fizz, it's like... You just need to flank, you know? You need to flank, you need to be smart. You cannot be from the front, you know? I think it's just that I've been experimenting with Fizz and watching, like, Chovy specifically play it. And I think what people are doing wrong is in some matchup, you have to max W. And W max, you kill people without fish even. And then the build I've been trying is...
Against range, do you mean? You max W?
Against range, I think hard matchup. If it's hard matchup 1v1, A-max for sure.
Did he max W? Did he max W?
In some scenarios, I saw it, yeah. And then you go attack speed rune. One attack speed rune, right? And then you go presence of mind and tenacity, whatever. And then the build I saw from some Fizz 1 tricks, and also I think is really OP, is just you go Hextech Revolver into Lich Bane. Because Hextech Revolver alone is already really OP, I think.
Yeah, it's the burst that you need for. I did it as well. It's the burst you need for the combo. Like you do level 6 into lane and you have that extra damage.
Yeah.
It's like it's a blasting one, 850 gold, and then it's the damage that have is like only 200 cost, so it's like insane.
And I think the mistake is a lot of people are doing is they are buying like on next base they're going Kindle Gem, but it doesn't help you snowball at all. You go Blasting Wand, boom. You just buy Blasting Wand, you buy AP, you just stack AP, Dark Seal, you whatever, you go AP, and then you keep enemy in one shot range always. And I think what's OP about Fizz is the ult cooldown on level 11 is 70 seconds. It's really ridiculous. I think.
Clouds now.
Your microphone, bro. I don't hear you.
You know, with Cloud Drakes, you reach even 30 seconds now.
Yeah, it's
30
nuts.
seconds cooldown on your ultimate.
I wanted to Jiizuké LPL, even though we didn't have games. Like for me, like I am a big fan, and I went back and looked at some of those games, and the level. I think still the jungler of IG is struggling a little bit because I think Ning, when he played Kiana, he didn't do anything, and Olaf he didn't do anything, and then the second jungler, I'm trying to remember his name.
Leon.
Yeah, he did a lot better. But
I did with him a lot when he was in Europe actually.
Oh really?
Like we were doing for like 2 weeks. It's fucking crazy. Like it's so insane. Like mechanically at least.
Yeah.
So like I see why they wanted to replace him with Ning.
Yeah.
But then towards Ning was just the better option, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like Leon choked, no? I felt like.
Yeah. And the whole team choked, I think. I remember when I was...
You think whole team choked, really?
I'm not sure if I'm biased because I was playing with them. But... I think there was there was some game that the whole team choked though, yeah. Like
I think against FPX for sure.
Yeah.
I think Baolan...
Like mid and top are always insane, but bot lane was hinting a bit.
But
like
even
bot lane jungle were hinting every game. Was it Ning or Lion? They were hinting.
I think also like Baolan for sure. I think in the series against FPX hard hinted. Even the Shy was hinting a little bit, but I don't think it was like the why they lost. Because I think the Shy and Rookie, knowing they played without jungler for most of the tournament, I think some of the things were what they did was really next level, like really insane. Like I felt like Rookie, watching his pro view, I've learned so much, insanely much, because like just watching his Orianna was like wow. And like now with IG, right now they have Puff and Southwind, and I think they played in like LSPL and LPL as well. And I didn't think about them too much, but they seem to be pretty fucking decent.
Yeah, this Rookie knew them, and that's how they entered. I think like he suggested them to IG. Basically, I read an interview.
Okay.
Like the Shy was saying that Rookie said that they were really good and they should get them.
Holy,
I don't know what happened. Yeah, I don't know what happened to Jekyll, but
yeah, that's
actually,
crazy.
What
He's not in a team. I don't know what's going on. I really don't know. And then E-Star, our friend Wink.
Ah, yeah. Wink.
Our friend
The
Wink.
best they ever seen.
Let me just share the story with the people. So we were boot camping in China, right? And we were doing an event with RNG, and Uziai was too important for us. Now he was off doing some big business deals. I think it's official now. He was doing something with Nike, and we were playing stage matches against RNG. And as AD carry, they brought Wink, and Wink, you know, it's crazy because he was the third AD carry on the roster. Third. So there was a sub, and then there was Wink. And he mechanically, first I was watching Xiaohu play. I was standing behind him, and I was so fucking impressed by how good he was mechanically. I was like, Jesus, like it was fucking hilarious to see him lane against Jack Troll. For some reason, Jack Troll was top lane, and it was like it was
Cannon against Malphite.
It was bronze versus challenger, honestly.
Oh shit!
It was it was rough.
Don't put Jack on lane.
Xiaohu was giggling. Nevertheless. And then I was super impressed by Xiaohu. And then Xiaohu and Wink, they start to play 1v1s. And then Wink is like, I assume he was telling him, pick any champ and we're gonna play it. And Wink was beating him at champions he shouldn't be good at. He's like playing Jace. I was like, what the fuck was this kid? I was like, Bo, who's like the community manager, I think. Bo, our friend. I was like, Bo, let me kidnap Wink. Let me bring him with. Do you want to come to Europe? You want to come to Europe, Wink? Come with me, man. And then now with Eastar, he's playing, and Eastar looks giga smurf as well. I don't know if you remember their games.
I actually did not watch the games. I
Only.
forgot, but I saw later that Wink was playing, and I'm like,
Hype.
nah, I was glad that they found the team.
Yeah. I was like,
I will watch now that you remember me. I forgot for some reason.
okay. No, they're interesting games because I think even though the meta is a bit different, like Senna's OP, whatever, it still translates pretty well, I think.
Yeah.
Because the gameplay is relatively similar, and I think it's still super cool to watch. I'm a big fan of LPL. I'm hyped for it to start. I don't know what's gonna happen with MSI, man. Oh, this is quite crazy.
Travis Gafford leaked that it's not in EU and Asia, so I guess it's in NA or Brazil or something.
Yeah, who cares about the location though? It's like, what's gonna happen with LPL? It's like,
actually, what the fuck?
like maybe they just agree, like, okay, they do like a little tournament, and then the best team just goes.
Or they just go without practice. Yeah, they do.
FPX World Champion.
No, they do like playoffs, but with 15 teams, and they just do best of 5 against everyone. They start from the bottom, and then they see what's the best.
Oh, like no league at all. There's no LPL league, just best of 5.
Just tournament like CSGO. I don't know.
Actually, maybe they just do like old LCK, you know, like groups.
They do,
and then
they do words, but they do groups, you know, like it's like words groups. They do 4 groups, and then they see who's the best in their
That's
group.
a solution, man.
And
honestly.
they do like 2 days of games, and then they just play like that.
Honestly, I would love the shit out of that, man. That would be fucking fun
Yeah,
to watch.
it will be words, but in FPL, it will be insane actually.
I wonder how they would do seeding.
And the seeding is like based on
last year.
The before year, yeah, I guess, yeah.
I guess because honestly, last year is still pretty like relevant.
I mean, it's RNG, IG, FX are still those things.
Yeah, like top esports as well. They were like the 4th place team, right? They lost against IG and regional qualifier.
Yeah, it's it's the most relevant.
I guess Eastar would be like the outlier because they are 2-0 and honestly they played really good. Yeah, group of death. We need a group of death, Jiizuké.
Yeah.
Of course. You know, it's like I asked Twitter if they have any questions to Jiizuké, and the only thing they are telling me is to greet Jiizuké. Greet Jiizuké.
I'm going on the post. Wait.
Let's see what we have here. Okay, Defisio Ego asks you, Jiizuké, do you think Jesus was the first influencer because he had 12 followers?
Wait, what?
So influencer is like, oh, I am an Instagram influencer. I have 100,000 followers and I can promote your product. You know these people?
Yeah.
So
I guess maybe he was, yeah.
So Jesus was the first influencer. To be honest, that makes us bigger than Jesus because he had only 12 followers and you have like 50k, 40k. So you're bigger than Jesus, Jiizuké.
Yeah, I guess I'm so insane.
That's fantastic.
Actually, I'm reading the questions now. Actually,
what is
some of them?
No. If you read it, it's worse. Let me choose the questions, Jiizuké. This is hidden from you. You blocked. You blocked to read it. Let me read them and choose. I'm the host, Jiizuké. I'm the coach. I wanted to also ask, what does stronzi mean, Jiizuké?
What?
Stronzi.
Stronzi is like asshole in English.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Holy moly. Okay, I didn't know. I've been saying it randomly. Because I'm watching this Italian YouTuber.
Is it asshole even? Yeah, asshole. Yeah, asshole is the translation, I guess.
Because I'm watching this Italian YouTuber. His name is Davey504. Do you know him?
No.
You need to check him out. He plays bass. I'm going to send you some links after we're done with this. And you're going to have to watch him. He's the most famous Italian YouTuber. He's basically your brother. When he reaches 6 million subs,
we're carrying the gaming and the internet community.
But he's not gaming at all. He's just When he reaches 6 million subs, he's eating pineapple pizza, and he's very Italian. It's funny. He's cool. You will like him. Okay, let me find some other good question. Okay, I think any type of lists will just... I think you're done with lists. There's been too many lists. Okay. What K-pop groups is he following now?
People really want to know.
Well, one person.
One person out of 20.
Don't look. I see you have a reading face, Jiizuké. I see the reflection of the tweets in your eyes.
What groups am I following?
BTS. Are you a BTS stan?
I'm stalking the account, and she's a heavy boy group favorite.
Okay.
No, let's not answer. It's okay. Let's not answer.
Not answer?
Yeah.
Why? Too personal?
It's too personal.
Or
I mean, even the names I'm gonna say, like, they're unknown to anyone.
Maybe I know them.
Video. IU, Taeyeon, Bulfor.
Bulfor?
Like Bulfor.
Bulfor.
It's like this, but it's this. But it's like
bubblegum.
No one. But I'm mostly into melodic music right now.
Okay, so you're just using it to calm down, huh?
I still follow the Blackpink and stuff, but more the melodic ones, yeah.
Okay. And what about what's it called? Korean drama. What are you watching right now, Jiizuké?
Personal or for the thing?
Personal. We want to get to know Jiizuké. We love Jiizuké. We want to get to know Jiizuké.
I'm watching Itaewon Class and
okay.
Extraordinary You.
Oh. Is that a series or you say that about me? Is that a series or are you complimenting me?
It's a series. It's a series.
So you're not complimenting me.
It's the two web drama turned Korean drama.
Okay.
I'm talking Arabic, and you are like you can understand Arabic, but you don't know what I'm talking about. So.
I see. Okay. Jiizuké, I brought up some. So the last thing that I wanted to do. So something that I like to do is I like to bring up old pictures from Instagram. But your Instagram is just Riot Game pictures. So it's not.
Yeah, because I mean I didn't like seeing myself in pictures, so I did not post any.
But anyway, I did some digging.
I don't have any other.
I wanted to re-invoke your old feelings, okay? So let's start here, okay?
You have only the 4G one, for sure.
So I send you this one.
Okay.
Tell me.
That's 100... that's 110 kilos. No, 15.
No, is this the only thing that you think about when you see this video?
I choked on this stage. I think we experimented a lot. We went 5 men into a 5 items Casio, and that's where Nisi was born. But we entered really hard.
Honestly, here, if I look at this picture here, I think it looks like you're ready to rock, man.
It looks like what?
You are ready to rock here. You look like a badass. You don't even look at the crowd, man.
What the fuck is my face about, brother? Oh my god, man! What the fuck? My face is so big. My nose looks like... my nose is not like this. Wait, the camera is here. I guess it's the fat. Like, holy shit.
Okay, that's not the reaction that I was expecting.
When you lose 30 kilos, that's what happens.
I guess that makes sense.
You look like a fucking Garibaldi or something in here.
Okay, I prepared 2 more pictures. We can move on, yeah? We can move on. This one is one of my personal favorites because for me it invokes a lot of memories. Do you remember what this game was?
Yes, it was against Niski, actually.
Yeah.
It was against Niski. He was playing Sion, and I was playing... What I was playing, Rise?
You're playing Rise, yes.
Yeah, so we had a big ego in Vitality about our E skill, because E was broken back then. You do 150 damage overall, like if you
And
hit it.
Comet
It's
and
a Comet, a
Scorch.
Scorch, and they eat a lot of damage. And we were like, me and Cabo were like, who's the best at E? I was the best. And he was the best at Q and R, but I was the best at E, like, no questions asked. And like, we were going 25-30 aside every single game, me and Cabo, against anyone in the league. And then I go against Niski. I go into a matchup I think I will lose. I go 30 CS up. I go 30 CS up, and then here we were laughing at each other. We're like, oh, do you see this fucking fire? No, like, no, you said the question, and I said, ah!
I remember I came to you. I
could not speak.
I came to you and I was like,
You see fucking
Jiizuké,
this guy?
he didn't need to single E.
Holy shit! It's when you play something in practice and you go stage and the opposite happens. Like I'm like I remember in Champions League I'm saying I think I need help with the early game, otherwise you guys gonna destroy me early game. He missed every single day.
Do you remember the rest of this game, Jiizuké? Was this the game where Gilius played Kha'Zix?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was. I think it was. Yeah. The Gilius one before going in, and then at the end it's like, what the fuck did I just do? It was a mic check. It was a mic check.
Fuck, I love it. Because I remember this game. I remember they had Sion, and then they had Vladimir, Jin, Taric, and they just had the slowest Nash on the planet.
Yeah.
Or actually, did you play Talia that game? I think maybe it's a wrong game. Wait, did you play Talia into Sion?
Let's look it.
Because I just remember you flying into Nash. I remember Talia wall, and he.
I'm looking with.
Maybe you were playing Talia and you got so much CS.
Maybe because Rise I played against Perks, I remember, but.
I think Talia actually.
Oh, Talia against Sion.
You played Talia against Sion, and that was even worse, no?
Yeah, like I should have lost Leonard, and I have me prior and roaming all game long, basically.
I remember.
Oh, it was the first time I brought the unsealed spellbook Talia, and then everyone followed.
I remember this was the only and the last time Cabo would play Shen.
Oh, yeah, because we had the full dive bot stuff, Caitlyn Trash, Talia.
And then he was like we were already diving bot without Shen. And he's like, guys, you don't even need me. I'm so fucking useless.
Yeah, because he got dive top. I'm watching now. He got dive top at 9 minutes. And it's like 20 seconds behind of Vladimir, but it didn't matter.
Because like you were pushing, and this was like OP one-shot wave Talia, right? And
yeah.
And then it's like the Q, AoE Q. And then like bottom matchup was Caitlyn Trash versus Jin Taric.
Jin Taric, and 40 aside, and they lost tower at 10 minutes.
Yeah.
And then they swap to go top, take tower, take Herald, take mid. Like, I think we took every single tower in the game.
But then we fell behind. Because like we kept pushing with Caitlyn Trash, and then like TP'd behind us with like Vladimir and Sion, and then we died. And then we realized our comp is kind of shit. Because we had like Shen, Kha'Zix, Talia, Caitlyn Trash. No, we won because they didn't know what to do. So we were killing Vladimir over and over on side with Shen, Vlad, and then eventually they were like they just started Nash and they just kept doing Nash. And then you ulted behind, and then you were queuing them from the back of the pit. And then they just all died. We aced them, we took Nash, and we ended the game.
Just go watch 20 minutes just for the podcast.
No, it's too hard for me to put it up there, man. Don't put me in this spot. You know, I will ruin the overlay. A final picture for you, Jiizuké. A final picture. This one is also a favorite. Tell me, what kind of memories does it evoke, Mr. Jiizuké? Jacuzzi, Daniele di Mauro.
Wait, this is Genji, it's not RNG, right?
This is Genji, yes. This is the first win at the World Championship.
Yeah. Well, was my first game at Worlds, and also my, would I say best performance of the year? Maybe, I'm not sure if it was best performance of the year, but it was like I was not actually scared to do anything in the series. Well, in the game. It was like, I was confident about everything. Even if I was one with you mid, that like there was a Aru just for ambition, it was Aru. Aru was parrying every gank for crown, but it's like, we were playing so crazy. And myself on Echo was like, the team fights on bot lane, do you remember?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
the 5 men diving, like I was like, I'm going back in when it seemed like fucking doomed. Like
Yeah.
everyone was, it was so fun to play at the time actually.
Honestly, even the game that we lost against C9 when you played Echo, you giga smurfed. Because I remember
Yeah.
you one-shotted Zaya, like in
Dude,
the fights.
you remember Jack Troll went in to take a grab, everyone is dead, like no, two of us are dead, Jack Troll and someone else, and then I go in and I managed to kill their carries, both their
Yeah.
carries. And then we start Nasher, and then Zilan fucking double bomb someone, and it's over again.
I still get
That's so weird.
I still get flamed to this day for not banning Zillion, but Echo is good into Zillion.
Like anything is good into Zilan, you know, but just NA they look a good draft, and they picked it, you know.
It's like because our draft was 50 times better, but then what happened was you remember this game, right? I remember it too well because it's in my nightmares. Because we invaded, Trundle was level 2 to level 1, and then Trundle just needs to back off from top. You remember? Because Singe could push easily level 1.
Kiki hinted really hard that one.
Kikis entered really hard, and he was calling you to come, and you died, and also
Yeah, he fucked me over basically.
and before that the game was over. We had Sion
Yeah.
versus Singe, and bottom matchup was Zaya Shen versus Draven Trash. This is 80 CS ahead, I think, minimum.
Yeah.
And then you were Echo, and then we had Trundle into Nocturne. It was perfect. It's like enemy has Nocturne into Echo.
Yeah. If we go side, it's over.
Yeah.
What does Singed do against the Echo? I wonder. We will never find out. I never got to go side. I'm team fighting 24/7 as Echo.
And then it's funny, people were saying that Singe is counter to Sion, but Sion was like 30 CS ahead.
Yeah, it was only, well, he can push Singed, that's it. But then
Yeah,
eventually.
but then eventually Cabo was proxying. Singe didn't proxy, and he was proxying. It was kind of funny. Cabo was Sion master, man. He figured it out.
Yeah.
And then the first game against Cloud9 was even worse. That was a disaster because that game was won 5 times. You remember when you were like super fed with LeBlanc?
Yeah.
You were doing magic, man. I remember you were doing magic.
Yeah, I did one mistake in the game.
Yeah.
And it costed us, but
Yeah.
yeah, I actually talked to Zezel and Sven, and they didn't know I was there. They were
What?
just not thinking about. They were thinking about going. They were not thinking about going Asher. They were actually
Oh.
working mid. They wanted to get Fryo and then go Asher. They were not watching, by the way. Like in our comms, they were like, "They're going Nash, by the way. They're going Nash." And then I wanted to stop Talia because I did not want him to reach an Asher.
Yeah.
But they were not thinking about going Asher. They were thinking about going mid. It was quite sad.
I thought when you said they didn't know I was there, I thought they just didn't know Jiizuké was at Worlds. I was like, what? I was really surprised.
No,
What the fuck?
they didn't know I was in that bush. Yeah.
Holy moly.
Yeah.
Do they bully you for that? Did they beat us 2-0?
No, they actually never did.
They're nice guys, huh?
Yeah.
They look quite nice. They're friendly.
Yeah. I mean, actually, Sven I can relate because he's European, so the humor is the same.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a bit harder with the other NA people.
Yeah.
You don't really know, but between Europeans it's like easy to understand when it's like humor and when it's not.
I notice, like my impression has been that, like the way we speak in Europe is that we, like, if we say, "Oh, this player is really shit," it can be like, "Oh, he's kind of bad." But if you say it in North America, then it's like, "This is the worst player that you've ever seen in your life." If you say something like that, like everything becomes like very literal. Because I remember when I was on analyst desk and I was like, yo, this guy is really shit. And then Crumbs was like, wow, dude, that's kind of mean. You really think he's literal shit? I was like, no, man, I just think he's bad. Chillax, dude, relax. So
Yeah, I think it's a good description of the humor
yeah,
and diversity.
yeah, for sure. Jiizuké, we are reaching now 3 hours. I think,
Yep.
I need to sleep for Euphoria. I have 3 good hours.
Yeah, my throat has not been like this for a while.
Honestly,
Don't remember I think
honestly,
it was the last time we had a conversation that I had the throat like this.
honestly, I can speak. I can speak. I have another 3 hours. It's like I could speak all the way until I have to leave to Euphoria because I know we can talk forever about many things.
Yeah.
I think we covered the most things that people would want to hear. I think some topics is not worth discussing, like the Jack Troy thing that is in the past, and anything else. We are business people. We care only about business, and I'm happy that I could catch up with you, Jiizuké. It's very exciting for me to watch you play. It's weird always.
I'm waiting for your return to coaching as well, Limit.
I'm waiting too, brother. Working on broadcast is fun. It's interesting, and some interesting things are coming.
Actually, it fits you a lot, like the voice and like how you describe stuff. I'm watching some, and it's like you're insane.
You like it?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Because like your voice and everything is fit for it, It's like it's insane.
I appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. It's exciting for me to watch you because it's weird always. It comes first when I got to know you first. It was through scrims, right? I watched you playing scrims, and then we are working together, and it becomes so much more than that. So now when I'm watching you play, I notice that it's almost it is professional at the same time because I want to watch the games, but it's a lot of emotions in it.
Yeah.
It's like I'm screaming at the screen when I see you doing well, and then when something goes bad, I'm like, Jiizuké, no.
Why is it looking LeBlanc?
Yeah, I'm like, no, Jiizuké. And
What are you doing here?
I was tweeting about your draft. I tweeted I like the first draft a long time ago. I was like, what on earth is this draft? Zoe in full AP team, Tom Kench blind pick into Ornn, Brom answer to Tom Kench, Ash
like,
into Ornn
when,
Ezreal Brom.
Yeah, when everyone draft like that, then it becomes like it becomes viable. But
Yeah.
like to me, I know it's like it's not what should happen, but I just go with it because like the only times I allowed jungle to be AP, for example, is when Cabushard could carry hard with it. Like we're playing Jarvan and AP jungle, and then that pressure that you bring to the top 2-2 is going mid and then going bot, and then you're like, yeah, AP jungle is insane. But if you play LeBlanc Sejuani and we have no mid 2-2 and you have no way of pressuring the map whatsoever, then like just go next.
Yeah, I saw one team. I don't remember who it was exactly, but I cringed really hard.
Triple AP.
I saw Kiana listen 2v2.
Oh, I thought you saw the triple P. It was Mordekaiser, Sejuani, Zoe. Someone drafted that, and then it was Brom Ezreal. It was Ezreal comp.
Bro, your draft this weekend it was Ezreal, Brom, Ornn, Zoe, Sejuani. That's if enemy could buy 2 Mercury, they would.
Well, honestly, honestly, that comp is good at 30 minutes. It's like if you have items and if like nothing bad happens every game, then if that's the playstyle you're bringing, then it's good comp.
When you have void stuff, Leandri, it's good.
Yeah, I have all the space I want to poke. There's like my tanks just go in and I pick targets, so it's fine.
Like
you don't think about early game. If you don't think about early game, it's a fun comp.
But to be honest, like in the draft, you guys had for sure better draft.
Like, for sure. They had no chance.
Cocktail.
They had no chance. If we came to 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it's over. They can't do anything.
Yeah, for sure. Like I think you guys for sure had better draft, but everything about that was just weird.
Yeah.
It was really weird, and it worked. Like what did they pick? They picked Victor, so they have Victor Elise for you in mid. You're very happy.
I can even go Mercury and play the cockest motherfucker on earth
And
if I
then
want.
it's like you have Sejuani jungle, you're a bit unhappy. And then like their only option, like they are picking Elise, so you hope that maybe they do something in 2v2, but that doesn't exist. I think
Yeah.
if you are picking Elise right now and you're not C9 in North America, I think you're lying to yourself.
Yeah.
But even though I think right now in the meta, I think Elise is much worse than she was in 10.2. Like I think right now jungle meta is like counter pick jungle meta. I think like there's so many good junglers. I don't know if you saw like OG, they picked like Nidalee
I
into
think it
Karthus.
depends region to region, exactly. You pick Nidalee into Karthus, but any is like, oh, was the ends on Sejuani and was the ends on Lee. But it doesn't matter. Like Sejuani is good into Lee and Lee is good into Sejuani apparently. So
It's like if
they
someone,
don't,
if
they don't really
someone,
care.
like
Just play style what you want. Just
the
that.
moment someone decides to play some Karthus in NALCS, it's going to be a good time.
Yeah.
The Karthus is very strong. Okay, we're starting again, Jiizuké. We're gonna talk forever, yeah? I'm gonna stop recording here, yeah? Thank you so much for watching. Jiizuké, do you have a business or something you want to pitch? Do you want to promote something? I put your Twitter up on the screen.
Okay.
You want to talk to your fans? Stronzi.
Just no, not that one. Not that one. Just thank you if you are still following me from LEC, and well, I guess this one will be mostly about LEC. So yeah, if you're sticking here with me, then thank you, and don't believe the community too much. I think I will show what we're capable of in the next weeks.
For sure. Yeah, I echo that sentiment, Jiizuké. I think the perception that the casters, the narrative that the casters are pushing, it's like it becomes very easy on a broadcast to be like, oh, this is what we say about this player, and then it's like you go to it all the time. All the time. This is what you go to.
Like they actually don't know what to say, and then they just go back to it.
Yeah,
it's
like you don't.
I know who are they like. Even European ones sometimes it's like they always go back to the thing and they push it because they don't know what to say. It's like
because I've thought about this a lot myself as well, and I don't want to be that person.
yeah, it's good.
Because I think we have a huge responsibility on the broadcast.
Yeah,
and
you can destroy a career actually because okay, I'm not someone that watches Reddit a lot.
Yeah,
but let's say I'm a person that watches Reddit a lot and I watch all games, the Twitch casting and the Twitch chat. I think my confidence will go fucking down. Like it's like
no, it
and
takes up
that one
space
will
in your
destroy my
subconscious mind.
performance and then it will destroy my career after. So it's like you can say yeah, it doesn't really matter, but in the end it matters. Like we're humans and we have emotions. So,
I think
yeah.
like the way I see it, Jiizuké, is that we need to keep our subconscious healthy.
Yeah.
Like there are things.
We have so much pressure already going on that we don't need other things to be on our mind.
Yeah.
I mean, in general as a player, but also as a person, like in normal person as well.
Like we're not designed for this life where people are connected in social media and everything is going on and over, and we have access to everything. We get so much information thrown into our head, and I don't think humans are prepared for this. And more so, I think when a caster keeps saying something over and over, the community will echo the same words, and it affects even the people that makes the biggest decisions, right? And
yeah,
that's why, like for example, like let's say for example, humanoid. So I've criticized humanoid, but the way I've been doing it is that like the way I view humanoid, my opinion of humanoid is that I think he came up in a generation of mid lane rookies, where these mid lane rookies got really a lot of praise in a meta where Akali was very dominant. And if you're on a winning team and you're playing Akali, you're going to always look insane.
Yeah.
And I think Akali also puts you in a position where you don't need to learn how to play the game.
Salas as well.
So like the mid lane meta was absurdly like OP, right?
Yeah.
And this was like my biggest criticism to Humanoid, because he was relying on Akali, and now he struggles in some games because he dies on side a lot. Like isolated death, I think he's
for
second place.
me,
Right?
Xerx, humanoid without Xerx is not a mid laner, honestly.
Well, he has had some good performances.
Like I do know that last year when I was playing against humanoid, I was scared about Xerx. Mostly in Europe, I was scared about junglers. I'm not scared about mid laners. It's like just I can win against this guy, but there is this jungler. It's either Broxa
Shadow
or
is
it's
really fucking good as well, dude. Shadow and Kaiser, they're honestly 1v9ing for Mad Lions.
Yeah.
It's surprising for rookies, but Shadow, he passes the Lee Sin test, which is, the jungle test. He plays good Lee Sin, and he has very good understanding,
Yeah.
But humanoid, and now it's like, the way I frame it is like, okay, for a player like this, a champion like LeBlanc is perfect, because I think mechanically he is good, but decision making is rough, And then the thing, so basically I suggest to the audience that they should look out for this and this. And then I try to look back at my statements. I always I review what I say on the analyst desk pretty much, And then I try to look at the next day and I say, okay, in the games that he played, is it true still,
Yeah.
Basically, instead of having like, I don't brand players, meaning like, let's say I put a stamp on Jiizuké saying, oh, he's over aggressive or aggressive player. I try to justify what I said and to check if it's true the next day,
Yeah.
Because the next day, for example, after I said this about humanoid, the LeBlanc ban is pretty smart. It puts him in this position. But then the next day he played a Zoe game and they won against Fnatic. And then I say, okay, so Kaiser and Shadow, when they cover up for humanoid and how he plays, then it looks really, really good. And when he has freedom, it looks good, right?
Yeah.
I think this is the right way. But I think sometimes the biggest mistake I see in broadcast, all over the world, is just people getting lazy. And I think getting lazy with people's
The
careers.
summarized stuff in this environment is like, you cannot do that. You should be more specific. And if you can say specific, then you should just shut the fuck up.
Yeah.
Like basically, like I don't know. Actually, are you recording still?
Yeah, actually.
Like I remember.
Oh. Jiizuké was not happy with that. I was still recording.
I don't know what happened. I remember last year.
You don't have camera anymore? It's okay.
Oh wait. I remember last year, legit. I did not see any Reddit or Twitch chat or anything, and then I go into an interview and. I don't remember if it was Laura or someone else, but they asked me questions, and I'm like, "What do you think about your performance? You're playing this, you're playing bad here." I'm like, I'm speechless. I'm like, "What the fuck is going on in the broadcasting that they're asking me those questions?"
Yeah.
Like I was like really sad hearing that. I was actually sad. I'm like, but in my head, this didn't happen or this did not happen. There are other problems that people just don't know about, And it was just very sad to hear. And it's like,
Let me see you, Jiizuké. Put on your camera, man.
how do you put the camera? That's the question.
There you got it, I think.
It's this one. Oh, it's this one.
There you go. Hello.
And just like it's the player perspective, and then there is like the caster and community perspective. It's like just.
But I think
pretty insane.
like to also play the devil's advocate, like of course they need to, like, broadcast needs to tell a story about what's happening, right? And the information that they don't have, they still need to make a picture of what they have, right? But I think it's important with the information you have to put out an accurate picture, right? And not make assumptions.
Yeah, like I can understand, but I think the casters right now are missing one thing that the fish was doing mostly. They asked the players and everyone, They were asking. The official was asking about like in-game stuff, even about. He wanted to get updated, and he asked every single team, some players that he's friends with or something. Yeah, I remember he asked me some stuff as well, and he's saying, "Is this right? Is this right?" Like he wants confirmation, And like you can even ask about what do you think the problems are, but in a good way, like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know
Like
how to explain, but
weaknesses,
just
like gameplay
yeah,
weaknesses.
yeah, just to fix the way a team is perceived, or
I remember what he asked is
just
like, what have you guys been working on in this week?
yeah, it
That's
was
a good
just
one.
he will throw a question like this,
Yeah.
and that's something that I never had someone else do. Like maybe quick shot one time, but yeah, it's like no casters ever done that after.
This is like what
I
what
think
I'm
quick
doing,
shot not
you
even
know?
much. Yeah.
Like I don't know if you've seen like I did videos on like
No,
meta
actually, quick
previews.
shot never did. Quick shot never did. Actually, only the
Okay.
fisher. Legit only the fisher. I never had anyone else.
Yeah, it's the best way, for sure. Like
Mm.
even now for me, it's like without scrim information, it's difficult to make assessments, right? And
Yeah.
I post like this weekly meta preview video where I rate the meta of what people are playing and then I put like a box of what I think people should play or what they should add, right? So very simple. It's not too complicated. And like in order for me to figure that out, I also need to talk to people, right? And I
Yeah.
think it's also helpful to have so many games, you know. And I think it's also helpful to be able to understand games. It's like if like watching the LCK looks very different from our eyes in comparison to someone else's eyes, you know. I think this is definitely the right way. I think the fish should definitely set a standard. He's the guy that I've been trying to learn from the most because I'm looking back and even like how he does like PGL and how he like did like analysis segments with other players. I think he's like always did it super well. Like he really figured out the right way to deliver it, you know. And I think he never exposed himself as well, you know. Like from our eyes, like we watch the broadcast always differently. Like players, coaches, we watch the broadcast differently. And I never felt like the official ever exposed himself, you know?
Yeah.
He never tried to explain something he doesn't know. He stuck to
Yeah.
what he knew, and I think there is a really big skill in that because I think sometimes people are trying to explain things that they don't know, and it's like, I think
Yeah.
that's also a trap that people fall in.
The most favorite conversation when they hear casters talking about some stuff and then they're completely wrong about it is
Yeah.
like
I think this happens in every gaming house,
and
right?
then the fact is that they're talking to I don't know for NA it's 100k people, and it's like everyone will have the same idea because they don't know shit about pro gaming. So
Yeah.
it's like if they're saying something then it must be right, and then he did the other way. Okay, so it was Jiizuké's fault or it was Ben's fault.
But
It's like connection.
I think also, I don't know. I think the co-streaming, I don't know, maybe helps a little bit. I guess I will
I
dominate
mean,
and LS are the biggest channels that are co-streaming. I think they have
helps about what like
basically they are streaming the LCS and they're just commentating over it
and the
when they're
comments.
allowed to.
Okay, yeah.
And I think
Yeah.
for sure, like LS has way better opinion than the some of the casters in North America for sure. And I will dominate as well.
Well, I thought you were saying that players streaming was a good thing, like that they say their opinion on stream and stuff like that.
Oh no
Like
no no
Fnatic were doing in Europe last year.
no!
They were like
This
saying both are the problems and
no. This I think everyone should stay away from, and I think I
actually
would
in NA as well, the Liquid is like that a bit.
yeah.
Some people.
And it's
Top
like
9, I don't know, but yeah, whatever.
for me, like I would never even like on this podcast I would never intentionally bring that up because I don't want this to be like a sensationalism podcast, I'm doing this for me, I wanted to speak to you and I'm happily sharing that with people,
Yeah.
and I'm not looking to fucking clickbait and get people here, like this is not my purpose,
Suka said Zizzle
Sword!
Zizzle bird is the problem. Like
Bird.
he cut Jiizuké cut his bird, but Zizzle did not, so the synergy doesn't quite go. I'm not sure, just trolling,
I'm gonna put that as my title. Okay, I'm gonna stop recording now. Thank you very much, guys, for watching. This is 3 hours and 18 minutes. Jesus.
Bye.
Bye.